Let's get nasty on a Tuesday. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. 203, your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Speaking of nasty, Cardinals bullpen. Not the good nasty, not the Fast Lane nasty, just overall just brutal last night. They melt down completely. Absolute disaster in Washington. All the momentum that the offense had created in the top of the eighth inning was completely eliminated by Stanek and Swanson in the bottom of the frame. Not that they were the only two guys in that pen that has had either rough nights or just a rough start to the season. Brule, Romero, Stanek, and Swanson last night combined to allow 9 hits and 7 earned runs in their 4 innings.
Is that good?
No.
Oh.
No, not one bit. Jamie shared these numbers in our group chat this morning. The Cardinals bullpen has now allowed 47 hits, 29 runs. Good news is only 28 of them were earned. They've issued 28 walks in 41 innings of work.
It's early.
It's early and it's been awful. It's been dreadful. And I laugh to keep me from crying. We all talked about the bullpen going into the season, but it was almost like, oh, yeah, we have no idea how this bullpen's gonna perform.
No clue.
It could be great. It could be average. It could be a disaster. We have no idea. And I know it's early, and it is. It's only April 7th. But in 41 innings, this is one of the worst bullpens in baseball to start the year.
It's tough to watch.
It's real tough to watch.
It is. I mean, they sent down Roy Crawford because he was struggling mightily.
Found the problem.
Yeah, no. You plugged one hole, and you found here more holes to plug. Like it is. I texted you all yesterday. I said this might be the worst bullpen in the entire league. Jamie said might. Like might? Might be? It looks like it is.
It's terrible.
And I find it, we had so many answers for everything this offseason. We were confident in certain areas, good, bad, or indifferent, about the starters, the lineup, the fielding. And the one question that we kept coming back to, we don't have any clue. And I mean absolutely no clue about the bullpen. We didn't. I think those questions are being answered now, and it ain't good. And it is frustrating because this team, we talked about it yesterday, has no quit in them. They got that dog in them, Anthony.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, they keep going. Players are playing really well. Defense is good. That bullpen, though, man, one thing I can guarantee is they're going to give up some runs. They're going to give up some hits. This is going to be people on base somehow, some way. They're either going to walk them on there or they're going to hit on there. And it's hard to win games, Anthony, if your middle relievers ain't relieving.
Yeah. Or, I don't know, any relievers aren't relieving.
Well, you don't even have to worry about the closer. How the hell are you going to get to him?
Yeah, true. How about this? So the Cardinals have 1, 2, 3, 4. They've got 5 losses now. 5 losses on the season. In those losses, they scored 7 runs, 2 runs. They were shut out. 6 runs, 6 runs. You lost 3 games already when you scored 6 or 7 runs.
Oh, there it is.
That sucks.
It does. I don't have an answer for you.
At least Jordan Walker hit a home run last night. It's good to see him.
Good for you, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he took
Nice job, Marsh.
I did take him.
Marsh is off to a nice start in the home run derby.
And you know what I love about...
And I had Urias, so...
No, I don't think he did.
No, I didn't.
I don't think he did. What I love about Jordan Walker, though, is that he's shooting the ball to the other way, like the other side of the field. He's going oppo taco. I love seeing that out of him. That was one of the bright spots from last night, and he's been hitting the ball really well. It's just unfortunate that these pitchers have to ruin everything. They ruined my night last night. I was trying to dial in and watch the national championship, which we will get to, and I couldn't even enjoy that basketball game because I was sitting there thinking, wow, the Cardinals really blew a great opportunity to pick up a win to start the series. But the bullpen had to go and ruin that, Anthony.
Yeah, you had stank on your face.
That's
Ryan Stank.
Oh, that's Stanek. Yeah,
that's Stanek.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, but it might be pronounced
Stink.
depending on who you ask.
I mean, can we hit the strike zone?
No.
Can we hit the strike
Oh, no,
zone?
they hit
Well, they hit it a couple of times. The only problem is the Nationals. Yeah, so do the Nationals. Yeah.
Hit it out of the park, actually.
Now, in fairness, Cardinals should have only lost 9-7, not 9-6. James Wood made it one hell of a
He
catch.
did. He tracked that down and made a great play.
Gorman got right. Did anybody have Gorman last night? Did you have
No.
Gorman? No? Okay.
I had Herrera.
That would have sucked.
I
I
think.
had Burley.
Yeah.
So the offense. So if we're gonna highlight some of the good things here, the offense again has been very good to start the season. Andre Palante, again, I think I said this after his first start. That's really all you're asking for out of a fifth starter. Now the walks were a problem, and he got bit by the walks in the first inning. But he only allowed 2 runs on the 3 hits in the 5 innings. Had he not had 4 walks, perhaps he only gives up 1 run as opposed to the 2. But
So hang on, just to clarify things. So Andre Palante gave up how many runs?
3.
3.
2. Sorry, 2.
2.
2 runs.
Okay.
2 runs, 3 hits.
I'll take that every day out
Yeah.
of him.
So, but the Cardinals scored 6 runs.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So they won
Andre
6-2.
Palante should have been fine.
He absolutely should have been fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
he
I
did
just
his
want to
job.
make sure we focus in the right spot.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah. No, the bullpen was problem. Like I said, Palante's start last night. He's a 5th starter. That's fine. Great. Excellent. Go 5. Keep your team in the ballgame. He did his job.
I want to bring up something Jamie texted us this morning. Not those numbers, but something that you were listening to about the Cardinals being one of the best teams in baseball if their pitching wasn't awful.
If you give them an average bullpen, and if you have an average pitcher instead of what's his name?
Dustin May.
Dusty May there, okay?
No, Dusty May just
was
won
great
last
last
night.
night.
It was a
All right, guys.
success story. last night.
Dustin May.
There you go.
If you had average and average, the Cardinals' record would be one of the best in baseball.
That's
Because
good for
the rest of the
future.
guys are doing their job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
I just saying. I'm trying to find some,
And if the Falcons didn't draft felons and added a quarterback,
if they wouldn't have got tight, in that third
we
quarter.
would have been Super Bowl
Who's
champs.
felons? I've never heard of him.
No,
They
they're
got
multiple
multiple.
felons.
They got
Multiple felons.
Are they
Yeah.
brothers?
Yeah.
We all 3 in succession.
Marshy, that's a great setup.
I did not mean it to go that way.
There goes Marshy again.
Marshy, we needed that laugh. Thank you. Yeah.
Well, this bullpen is ruining my day.
Hey, man.
Good news is they can do it all again tonight. Not the ruining part. Not the ruining part. They get a chance to play
I
again.
think you said it how you meant it.
I actually did.
Yeah.
I really did. Yeah.
When you guys are looking at this team and evaluating this team, at least for me, I can't help but just evaluate the offense and think, yeah, man, like this is great.
It's
and like the
exciting.
bullpen and the pitching is like not even a part of the team. Like I'm trying to just erase them from my memory in terms of, evaluating the team. Do you guys feel that way too? Because a bullpen that can change.
I can't separate that.
You can't separate
I
it?
cannot separate.
I'm trying to.
One part of the team because it is a team game, and that's my philosophy. When you win a championship, it's not one specific player. Like everyone has a role, and when you stink, it's generally not one specific player. There's a group or there's a part of the team that is not performing at the level that you need it to, and it can hinder your success. And right now, the bullpen and Dustin May have been, keeping this team, I don't want to say holding them back, but they haven't been performing at the level that they need to perform at for this team to have the success that they need to have. Right now, the Cardinals are 11th in Major League Baseball, in all of baseball, Anthony, in runs scored. And they are 5th in Major League Baseball in runs allowed.
5th best, you're saying?
5th worst.
Good news.
Yeah, at least they're not the worst.
No, top 5 though.
I got more good news for you
What
guys.
you got?
As far as ERA is concerned, Cardinals are only 25th in baseball when it comes to their bullpen ERA. Not 30th. They're not even close to the worst, guys.
No, they actually are very close.
No, listen here. They got an ERA of 6.15. The Royals are 6.17. The Nationals are 6.34. The Diamondbacks got a 6.5 bullpen ERA. Houston's got a 6.6. And Tampa Bay, who we saw how good that pen was, 7.34. So they got a lot of work to do to reach Tampa Bay status.
Anthony,
You guys feel better?
They're probably closer than you think.
I don't.
You guys feel good?
No.
They're probably closer than you think.
Okay.
Just saying.
Yeah. Can't blame me for trying. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. If you're a UConn fan, probably not listening. Probably not listening to any sports radio. But if you're a UConn fan, I thought one of the most interesting aspects about last night's game was actually on the UConn side of things. I'll tell you why next on 101 ESPN.
The Fast Lane is presented by FanDuel. FanDuel has your back with a special Mulligan bet back token this week in golf. Once the tournament starts, you can turn any losing bet into a bonus bet for another try. Now you've got protection to take that sleeper pick or make a bold prediction. Backing someone to win it all, go for it. Like someone in the top 5 to finish, lock it in with confidence, because if it doesn't hit, you get that mulligan in your back pocket. You have that mulligan in your back pocket ready to go, and that's what FanDuel can help you do. All you have to do is go to FanDuel.com/local to claim your special mulligan bet back token. That's FanDuel.com/local. You must be 21 plus and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Refund issued as non-withdrawable. Bonus bet that expires 7 days after receipt. Max refund $5 unless otherwise specified. Restrictions apply, including token expiration. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
the floor. Layup doesn't go. Ball knocked around. Slung down the floor. Caravan trying to track it down, and he will. And it's over. Hail to the champions. Hail to Michigan. For the first time in 37 years, the Wolverines win the national title.
You heard those sounds last night right here on 101 ESPN. Westwood won on the coverage there. Michigan takes down UConn. Not a huge surprise. We thought UConn would put up at least somewhat of a fight, and at least if you're in Vegas, UConn was a winner last night. They lost by 6. Spread was anywhere from 6.5 to 7. Jamie, you and I said as much. I actually thought one of the most interesting aspects of last night's game wasn't on Michigan's side. It was UConn. If you were to go into last night's game with a detailed plan for UConn, or not even a detail, just a rough, here, these are the things that we want to accomplish tonight. I think you would want to have stopped the transition game of Michigan. Well, Michigan only had 2 fast break points on the entire night. Limit Michigan's production from the 3-point line. At one point, Michigan was 0 for 10 from deep, and slow down the pace of the game. There were only 65 possessions last night, which was a slow game. So UConn accomplished all 3 of those things, executed very well, still lost by 6. I thought UConn did everything right from the pre-game plan that they had.
Oh, yeah.
And still lost by 6.
They were clear.
They probably should have lost by more, really, with the way the game was flowing there, about 5-6 minutes left.
I give full credit to UConn for battling. And as far as Danny Hurley is concerned, he was very honest at the halftime. He basically said we had to drag this into the alley and turn it into a bar fight, which is why they were so heavily fouled. They were fouling so much. They knew they couldn't sprint with the sprinters. They had to make this ugly. And by doing so, they stayed in the game. And if the one guy, was it McKinley? I don't know. He hit the 3-pointer off the backboard. It was a hope shot. If that doesn't go in and UConn goes down, it's a 2-point game.
Right.
Like it was a 5-point swing in that one moment because he got the 3 instead of them getting the 2.
Right.
That 2 + 3 is 5.
Thank you.
Anthony.
Yep, appreciate it.
There will be no math.
Write that down.
Okay.
So that's how close it was. And it was a strategy of just mucking it up, being ugly, bending the rules as much as you can. The officials were pretty good, did their job. And Michigan gets a win. But I have to give credit to UConn for playing a style of game that they thought could get them to win the game. It didn't work ultimately. Right. But it was scary at the end.
That I thought was the best game plan. I agree. You're right. They weren't going to go up and down the court with Michigan. And normally Michigan scores, Carey, you had said you thought they'd score 85.
Yeah.
I think I took Michigan's team total and bet the board, which was 78.5. I thought, all right, great. They're going to get to 80 easily. It was a tough go to get to 69.
Yeah, yes, it was.
But when it comes to UConn, or it comes to Michigan, I should say, their size, their physicality, their depth, they had multiple ways that they could beat every opponent. And they showcased it again last night. They can win ugly. They can win half-court games, too. That's what it turned into, a half-court game, and they won it.
For me, that game, it really reminded me of UConn versus Illinois. Like, I never at any point, there was a few points where I thought Illinois had an opportunity to get back into that game, just like I thought UConn had an opportunity to get back into the game last night. But Michigan was just a better team. That game was... It was a point in that game where I was like, damn, they playing football out here. Like, they were hitting each other, tackling each other. There were bodies all over the floor. There were multiple times where I thought, that's definitely a foul. Oh, okay, play on. Okay, cool. And I think that UConn thought that would be the recipe for success, but I don't know if Dan Hurley knows that that's just Big Ten basketball on a Tuesday night.
Right.
Like, that's just how they play basketball, and they're not impacted. The only thing that I feel... And it was done later in the game when UConn started pressing Michigan. That put a lot of pressure on them, and they were unable to get the ball in. They turned it over a few times underneath the basket. But to me, I thought Michigan was in control of that game the entire time. And I will say that if Lindenborg was not injured or hobbled, they probably win by 15. Like you could tell he was laboring on both ends. He wasn't hitting his shots. He's the Big Ten Player of the Year, All-American. He's the best player in my opinion. Mullins, I might have to take that back because Mullins was hitting some great shots for UConn. Mm-hmm. But Lindenberg is probably the best player on the court last night if he's not injured. And to me, that Michigan team, they just have too much length. Mara is 7 whatever.
Mara was great last night.
They're big.
Yeah, he's 7'3". He was switching
huge.
Everywhere. He was excellent.
So it's difficult to get inside and create that force when you have big fellas down there in the paint that clog everything up. And if you're not hitting your outside shots at a great clip, you're probably going to struggle. And that team last night, that was a really good game for me, for Michigan, how they played it. I appreciated how UConn played with such force and tried to take them into the alley. But Michigan was like, yeah, we'll go in the alley with you.
You're right.
You want to go in the alley?
They weren't afraid to be there.
Sweet.
Let's go.
A couple of those big boys were not afraid to be in that alley.
No,
they wanted to be there with them.
I was like, woof.
Yeah.
So
They wanted to be there a little too much, though. They almost got sucked into playing a style of game that they didn't need to be playing. Mm-hmm. And it almost hurt them because, was it Cadeau? He did shove that one guy. Mm-hmm. Like, he came in, gave a shoulder and a shove.
They tripped over the other man. I think it was McKinney's foot.
The problem is, if you look at it,
to me, that was a basketball play, and he tripped over McKinney's foot. And I'm glad the referees didn't call it.
It's a fine line.
Anything else?
If the referees call it differently,
that'd have been terrible.
It was just a move that he didn't have to do that. The play was already dead, and a basketball play or not. It shows an extension of the arm at the end of it. Like, take that with you.
Congratulations to Michigan. No real weaknesses. They could win fast. They could win slow. They can win in the alley. They can win in a track meet. They can win pretty games. They can win ugly games. It's funny because you look at, like, Duke was the #1 overall seed entering the tournament. Mm-hmm. But after Michigan won last night, knowing what they were throughout the course of the year and knowing what they could bring to the table, didn't it just seem obvious? Like, oh, okay, yeah, no, Michigan, that makes sense. Michigan's the best team in college
Michigan,
basketball.
though. I still would have liked to have seen it.
It would have been fun, given the rematch.
Maybe it had something to do with that, though, the rematch. Like, they already lost to Duke in the regular season. So maybe if you're weighing apples to apples and saying, well, who's the #1 overall seed?
Yeah, we got to go Duke.
And I don't think I will say this to the end of time. They may have been the #1 overall seed, but they did them no favors by putting them in that bracket that they were in. Mm-hmm. That bracket that Duke was in as a #1 seed, I'm looking at it, I'm like, well, hell, half the coaches that have won championships in their lives are here.
Right.
What are we doing? How is this the #1 seeded bracket? Give me a break.
Sure.
So it didn't do them any favors to be that #1 seed versus all of those teams in that bracket with championship pedigree.
And it still took a 19-point meltdown and UConn hitting a miracle shot after a turnover for them to be eliminated anyway. So no knock certainly on Duke. All right, again, we'll get into Michigan a little bit more later on in the show because they won with 5 transfers too. 5 transfers. Sorry, they started 5 transfers last night. And that's a recent trend over the last couple of years. All the winners have started, anywhere from 3 to 4 transfers, and they've won it. So we'll get into kind of the big picture aspect of Michigan's win a little bit later on in the show. Transitioning to the Blues, who take on the Avalanche again tonight. Pre-game, 6 o'clock, puck drop at 7. What are the Blues telling us about Pavel Buchnevich's new role? We'll get into that next on 101 ESPN. You might have a new driver in the household, and you're looking for a safe, reliable vehicle that doesn't cost an arm and a leg. If that's you, head to Auto Centers Nissan in Herculaneum. They do have new vehicles, which I'll get to in a second, but they've got a wide selection of pre-owned vehicles as well. And right now, the deals at Auto Centers Nissan, when it comes to select used vehicles, they qualify for 0 down and no payments for 3 months. If you got a new driver that, I don't know, maybe got great grades and they're working and all that, and they can help chip in a little bit and they want something a little bit newer, no problem. Remaining 2025 models at Auto Centers Nissan have been discounted up to $11,000 off MSRP. So you could get a new 2025 model and get a bunch of money off in the process. And if you are looking for brand new, at Auto Centers Nissan this month, they got new Rogue, Pathfinder, Murano, and Frontier models are all eligible for 0 payments for 6 months, 0 money down, and 0% APR for 60 months. That comes with the 30-day return promise within 30 days. If you're not completely satisfied with the vehicle, you can bring it back for a full refund. And they also have financing options for everyone that walks through the door. If you go to AutoCentersNissan.com, here's one more way to save this month at Auto Centers. Their vehicles that they have online, all eligible up to $1,000 in additional savings. Just pick the vehicle, hit the green Claim My Buyer's Bonus button, and then you'll lock in those savings instantly. Check them out online, AutoCentersNissan.com, or in person. Tell them Stalter sent you at Auto Centers Nissan out in Herculaneum.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. We just got done talking about the national championship game. Michigan took down UConn last night. The Cardinals also lost last night, 9-6 to the Washington Nationals. We talked earlier about the bullpen melting down in last night's game in D.C. We'll continue talking about the bullpen, but coming up next, we have the lineup game. The lineup is out as the Cardinals take on the Nationals. Once again, 5:45 first pitch. Also tonight, right here on 101 ESPN, we'll have the Blues and Avalanche. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. I'm Major Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
Sounder means it's time to play the lineup game here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. This is where we try to predict what Ali Marmol will do with said lineup. Tonight, the series continues in Washington, where it'll be Matthew Liberatore towing the rubber for the Cardinals, and he will oppose Cade Cavalli. Let's do it.
Cavallo, like the horse?
Nope.
I was thinking Cunningham.
Cavallo, did I ever tell you about the time I ate horse, Anthony?
Yes, you were in Russia, Switzerland. Okay.
Yeah. Went down to the local butcher, Carey. This place was awesome. Thought I found a gold mine. Walked in, didn't really read the label. Had I read the label, I speak enough like I could have figured it out. Get home, beautiful steak. Throw it on the grill. Had a grill even. Yeah. Turn it. Again. Smell. Got a little glass of red wine. It's just me.
Yeah.
I was all by myself.
Yeah.
Cut into that thing. Take a bite. I'm like, what is that? Does steak go bad? Walk over, pull the thing out of the trash can. Cavallo. Horse.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I had old sea biscuit there for dinner.
Did you finish?
No, I did not. I did not. But I did learn after that
Reading is fundamental?
reading is fundamental. And I learned that the one side of the aisle was horse, the other side was beef. Gotcha.
You learned.
I learned.
That's how we learn.
Taste.
Yeah. Huh?
That's how we learn. We make mistakes.
Yeah, but I had teammates that were like, oh, no, horse is the best. I'm like, well, I got some roadkill, too, if you want to.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Okay.
All right, well, Cavallo's on the bump for...
Cavalli, right-hander on the hill. All right. Gentlemen, shall we go with J.J.
formality at this point, right?
Show us J.J. Weatherholt.
What's the best kind of firework to buy?
Wouldn't you like to know, weather boy?
By the way, I saw that clip, Marshy. The text line, someone sent a link
find it?
yesterday.
Did you watch it?
And it's a newsman asking the kid, and he's like, wouldn't you like to know, weather boy? And the kid was a total jerk.
Somebody texted in and said that is his child.
Oh, really?
That sounds about right.
Maybe it was a
So maybe it was
joke
a bit
or
of a
something.
setup.
A little bit of a bit.
Yeah.
But who knows, right? Who knows?
Yeah, sure.
I'm like, boom goes the dynamite. No,
I think that was real.
That was real.
That was absolutely real.
That was real.
That was hilarious.
I think it was Ball State.
I thought it was like the Pacers he was doing.
He was doing the Pacers
He was
game.
doing the Pacers, but I think he's a student. I think he was a student at Ball State,
Okay.
and they were, they just had their, like all colleges will have like a little bit of a TV, whether they broadcast it live or it's just for training. Yeah, and he was doing the highlights.
He said, "Boom goes the dynamite."
He was
You haven't seen
struggling.
this?
Saved that one.
Oh, Jamie,
we
you
gotta
gotta
play it
see
for you
it.
in the break.
So this is
That's one of the greatest taglines ever.
This is like 15 years ago. This kid was struggling during the entire lineup or during the entire highlights. He was like, and he passes to the man, like no play, struggling, bumbling, whatever. And then at the very end,
he drops
and boom goes the dynamite.
He's saving it up, man. It was a build up.
Yeah.
I would love to see it like on a one-timer goal. Pass over to Thomas, and boom goes the dynamite.
Yeah.
There you go.
Bam.
That's hilarious.
Little did I know he was struggle busting the whole time.
He was. And then the rest of the people that were on like the panel with him, whatever, they're like, all right, thanks, James. And he goes, yeah.
Dynamite drop in, Monty.
Good job, Jay. All right. Anyways,
Show
Herrera?
us Ivan Herrera.
Yep.
What's your favorite position?
Designated hitter.
That's cool with me. It's not my favorite, but I'll do it for you.
I don't know why that sounds. It reminds me of Rafe. I don't know why.
Does. It
Like
does.
it sounds like something Rafe would do.
Yeah, I could see
But
that.
it's so perfect for that.
Yeah. Tenacious D. Jack Black. All right. Burleson.
Sure.
That's the group. That's the name of the band. That's the name of the band. Tenacious D.
Oh, yeah.
Tenacious.
And
Jack
Escape of Destiny.
Not that
Yeah.
we're talking about.
It's a hilarious movie.
Show us Alec Burleson.
He's not some magic star.
What? You're insane. He's a huge star at this specific sliver of time.
If I may,
Yeah.
show us Jordan Walker.
I'm just gonna write it down.
That one touched the ground. That one touched the ground.
What's going on there?
I'm just fixing something that's been bugging me.
What have we here?
Nolan Gorman.
Yeah.
Why not?
Give me that Gorman with the
almost hit a
right-handed
home
pitcher.
run. Show us Nolan Gorman.
We need 38 home runs, 120 RBIs.
I'm ready to go in, Coach. Just give me a chance. I know there's a lot riding on it, but it's all psychological.
That's awesome.
It's gonna make me laugh every time.
Except that time there, I just pictured Gorman
So did I.
saying it. Not Ace Ventura.
Yeah.
Like I had his face looking at Ollie saying it.
For some reason, I did the same thing. That was the first time I did that. But
First
I
time
pictured
here,
Gorman.
too.
Put me in, coach. All right. Jamie.
Who was this yesterday?
Win.
Oh, it's Mason Wynn. Show us. Mason Wynn.
Shortstop. That's right. Now and forever. Forever and ever. Shortstop.
We aren't in the top 10. Wait. This is bull. He's the best in the business.
Best arm in baseball.
All right, gents. This is where things could get
Nobody
a little
knows.
tricky.
You can't take Urias out, can you?
I wouldn't think so.
Guy hit a dinger and then he labeled another one for a double, didn't he?
Yeah.
Where is he playing?
I don't care. Put him
mean-
DH at this point.
He's got to be
Third base?
third base, which means Gorman is your DH, which means
Herrera's
Ivan
the
Herrera's
catcher.
catching again.
Herrera ain't the problem behind the plate.
No.
In fact, I'm starting to feel a little more confident with him behind the plate as opposed to Paez.
Really?
All I have to do is question whether or not a guy's going to play a certain
Kevin,
position.
is it you?
And be good.
Anthony,
I just do that for everybody. I don't know if this weather hole's going to make it, guys.
can you rattle off some of the relief pitchers real quick? That'd be nice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Let's start with
That was Swanson. This guy.
Swanson. I mean, I don't think he's going to work as a reliever, guys. I really don't. I question it.
Every time.
What about Stanek?
Brule, Stanek. I don't know if those guys are relievers either.
I don't mind Brule. He's not great yesterday.
Hey,
You're messing up.
You know what?
Let
That
him
Brule
complain.
sucks.
There you go. He's
Thank
got to
you.
complain.
I apologize,
And then they
guys.
get better.
Thank you.
Yeah, but is it me or him that has to do it?
It's him.
It's got to be me because
He has to.
Contreras.
So then what I say doesn't matter, right? It's just like in my own home.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, you're right about that. All right, so what are we doing here? Because I don't think Herrera's catching 2 days
I don't
in a
either.
row.
I think we're either.
I know.
We're either
Want him catching.
Sajasi,
What your freaking problem is, bro?
Sajasi or Church.
I say Sajasi.
All right,
Of
you
course,
do
he
it.
wants the Italian guy in there.
I do.
You do it.
Guy.
Is he Italian? We don't even know.
Got to be right.
I would think so.
Chest hair.
Yeah.
Is he Italian? It's got
He was on the Italian baseball
Classic.
Olympics.
That's right.
Yeah, but
What the hell? What? Come on, man. If the guy was Canadian, I'd know it.
Would you?
He's not Canadian, is he?
He has no clue.
show us Thomas Sajasi.
Okay, 90% chest hair, 10%
Baseball.
There you go. Practically your cousin.
So that means that this is Paez.
Yes.
Show us Pedro Paez.
I don't know if Carey's heard this one yet.
Now, you see what I did there, kids? I didn't even try to go for that ball. Most coaches will tell you, drop down, try to block the ball, but that's dumb. This position is called catcher. It ain't called drop and block the ball like a
I've not heard that one.
I don't think I've heard that one.
That's a good one.
Oh, man, that's good stuff.
Yeah. All right, Jamie.
Show us that
Put a bow
Victor
on this.
Scott, the second, please.
Feels good going fast.
I guess I was going about 65 tops.
That was a perfect lineup, I think, gents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It was. We just
For us.
we just had to make sure that we.
Unfortunately, we don't do the bullpen.
No, Marshy.
Yes.
Run it.
All right, leading off, second baseman J.J. Weatherholt. Batting second, your DH, Ivan Herrera. Batting third, first baseman Alec Burleson. Your cleanup hitter in right field, Jordan Walker. Batting fifth, playing third base, Nolan Gorman. Batting sixth, and playing the shortstop.
I was going to say.
Mason Wynn. Batting seventh in left field is Thomas Sajaci. Batting eighth in catching, Pedro Pajes. And batting ninth in center field, Victor Scott the second.
Back. They fair! Go fair! I don't believe what I just saw! Home run!
All righty, Marshy. You added to your lead last night, no?
I did, yes.
All right.
Jordan Walker picked up 2 points for me.
So what do you got, 5?
I have 5 points
Nice
now.
job. CD with 3, correct? Or 2?
Did I get one?
No, so 2?
No, Jamie has 2.
Jamie has 2. I don't have any.
Jamie, that's right. Jamie's got 2. I was giving your points to Carey.
Yeah, I know. I don't understand why, but
I like Carey.
I know. It's pretty obvious.
And I like you.
I don't think so. I don't feel like you like me as much.
Fine. It's fine. I like you both
I
equally.
remember Anthony Stalter that used to be one hell of a guy, you know? He used to like everyone.
Me too.
Long time
gone.
ago.
He's long gone. All right.
This new one's kind of bitter.
Edgy. All right, go ahead, Mark.
Quickly.
Well, I think it would only make sense if Pedro Pajes hit a home run tonight.
Yeah, good call.
So I'm going to go with Pedro Pajes to run into one.
Literally going to go Pedro.
Were you?
Yes, man.
Wow.
I think he
Just
runs into
because.
one.
Petey Pages. All right, Jamie.
Give me that Herrera.
CD.
This is madness. You know what? Give me Gorman.
Oh, avenging your guy, huh?
Walker would be the obvious, but he also hit one last night, Marsh. I don't think he's going to do it 2 nights in a row, right? You know what? Give me Sajaci. Why not, right?
Oh, now you like him.
He's a 10-pointer.
No, he's
It's
not.
Fastlane on 101 ESPN. All right, now we'll get into the Pavel Buchnevich conversation here on 101 ESPN.
What better way to take in a couple of St. Louis sports teams tonight? Watching your Cardinals on TV, watching your Blues on TV, and sipping down some Zwickle Light. My friends over at Urban Chestnut have done an amazing job of brewing this light beer. And I was just telling Carey the other day, because he was complaining about his light beer tasting like water. I said, Carey, here, try one of these Zwickle Lights. And he loved it. And then I told him, only 95 calories, 3.7 carbs. And Carey, who's in the gym a lot, trying to watch his waist too, he loved that part of it too. And he loves the flavor of the Zwickle Light, and so do I, and so will you. That's why it is the unofficial beer of St. Louis hockey, and it's brewed by St. Louisans for St. Louisans. And that's the key thing there. We know our beer here in St. Louis, and I can tell you this, Zwickle Light meets the standard. I absolutely love it, and so will you. Stop by many locations all around town. Pick up a nice case of Zwickle Light, whether it's cans or bottles. Both of them are now available. You can also find it over at Dirt Cheap. For more information, you can always visit urbanchestnut.com. That's urbanchestnut.com. Remember, St. Louis, to keep it light and keep it local.
Fastline on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. The Pavel Buchnevich situation is interesting. He's back on the fourth line for the second straight game after sitting out against the Ducks. And I wonder, Jamie, what the Blues are suggesting with this move. Is this a new role moving forward, or do you think this is just how they're going to wrap things up for the end of the year?
Well, I don't think it's a promotion, okay?
A promotion?
A promotion.
Okay.
I don't think it's a promotion.
I thought he said remotion, too.
Yeah.
Did I?
Yeah,
I may have,
definitely.
guys. You know,
Yeah. You know what, Jamie? You know I'm not.
What the hell?
You know
It's
I'm
a
not going to
beautiful day
do?
out. Enjoy your life, would you? God, you guys are always just waiting to pounce on people.
I have one of those an hour, Jamie. So you know what? I stand by you. You definitely said promotion. I heard it.
Nah, I don't need to be lied to.
He's been lied to his whole life, especially about that Drew Brees thing.
I still stand by that. You guys are lying to me.
I don't even know what that is.
He didn't win an MVP.
He's an MVP.
No, he never did.
Yeah, he did.
Nah, he
At
came
some
close.
point in his life, that man was an MVP. Okay?
In life, sure. Not in
That's
the
more.
NFL.
I think that's what I meant. Lifetime.
Yeah, sure.
Wasn't he a Super Bowl MVP? He had to win the Super Bowl MVP.
Maybe that's what you thought.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just don't think either. It happens.
Who else was going to win that night? Tracy Porter?
Maybe.
I think it was Drew Brees.
I think it was too.
Had to be.
Anyways, Pavel Buchnevich.
Yeah.
What's his role?
What's his remotion?
What's his remotion? He did. He won Super Bowl MVP.
There you go. That's
There
what
you
I
go.
meant.
What he's talking about.
Yeah, poor Booch is in a tough spot here right now. It's no secret his production has dipped year after year after year with the Blues. Now, in fairness to Pavel, the last couple of years, he's kind of been bounced around from center to wing, and he's been the Scotch tape at times for certain lines or certain situations. But he finds himself in a spot right now where he's not a top six forward. If he's not a top six, where can he help your team right now? And Jim Montgomery said it the other day. He said, look, having Pavel Buchnevich on our fourth line, call it that if you will. We've got Finley, very good defensively, excellent on faceoffs. Toropchenko, very good defensively, finishes all of his hits. Now you have Buch, who's very good defensively and can play in any situation, kill penalties. So you have a fourth line now that you're not afraid to play at any time. I won't say it's reminiscent of the Sundqvist, Barbashev, Steen line because I don't believe that to be true. I don't think Toropchenko is near the talent base of Barbashev. I don't think Finley's what Oscar Sundqvist was. And I don't think Pavel Buchnevich is what Alexander Steen was. But you have a version of it. And I think that's where we're at right now. And I don't know if Buch is nursing an injury. They said the other day they gave him a night off for maintenance. Not sure if something's been bothering him for the last couple weeks or a month. And maybe this is a way to keep him in your lineup while he gets through some of that. But I think it's pretty obvious that right now the Blues are looking for quicker legs that can generate more offense because there's no depth of scoring right now. Mm-hmm. It's Thomas, Holloway, Snuggerud, or bust.
Right.
So what are you going to do? You got to find a way to maximize your lineup. And if you can create another shutdown line and keep the other team off the board, and you cross your fingers and hope that your big dogs go eat. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's great for Pavel Buchnevich. I'm sure he's not thrilled with it. I don't think he'll voice that publicly, nor should he right now. It should be about the team. It should be about this playoff run. They've got a lot of work to do. The odds are against them. And having someone voice their displeasure about where they are in the lineup or not in the lineup would certainly derail some things. So I think that based upon the fact that I haven't heard him say a word, he's been very professional about it. But time will tell. This is a weird situation because at BK and Ferrari talked about it earlier, and I'm just going to say they brought it up before I'm going to say it, is they said that you could compare this to the Alexander Steen situation where you dropped him down the lineup, and at the time, they did the great math on this too. I'm just going to paraphrase. I think they said Steen was like 7.6% of the salary cap that year, and Pavel Buchnevich is 7.8% of the salary cap now because of the way the inflation is. But
there you go.
Buch has 5 more years left on his deal.
And I was going to say, I don't know if the guys talked about that. I'm sure they did.
They did. They covered it perfect. They did. They covered it perfectly.
Yeah, the big caveat there is what they mentioned. So then, what you just said, he's got 5 more years.
What does the future hold for Pavel Buchnevich? He's got a full no-trade clause. Now, if he doesn't like his spot on the fourth line, you may, as an organization, offer him the opportunity to select 6 or 8 teams that he would go to that may use him in a top 6 role, something he's more happy with.
Yeah.
And then you could try to work out a trade at that point. I don't know if that's what they're trying to do. I don't work in the office down there, nor have they asked me my opinion. But I'm just looking at the situation, face value, looking at some of the young legs coming into the lineup, some of the young legs that are showing tremendous promise at league minimum, pretty much, giving you lots of cap flexibility. And you got a guy whose offensive production, unfortunately, has dipped year after year, and the contract has grown. So, yeah, we'll see.
It's an interesting dilemma, Carey.
It's
yeah, it is. It is. Like Jamie said, you are fully invested in Pavel Buchnevich for the foreseeable future. You are, Anthony. You are as well.
Oh no, I'm not.
You are. You're invested in the Blues. You're invested in him as well. And so.
Oh yeah.
This is
not the contract though.
Nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
This is what it's going to be, and unless he is willing to, remove his no trade clause, and he doesn't want to be a fourth line. I don't know what the expectations are or what they were. I'm sure they were expecting him to play and perform better than he has. And I'm sure he wants to play and perform better than he has. It's not, as a player, when you're not reaching your capabilities, your full capabilities or your full potential of what you are accustomed to doing. So I would assume that he feels that, and he's feeling, some of the pressure and the ramifications of that. And if you don't play well, you don't get to play as much. And eventually it gets to the point where you're not playing at all. So, he's getting to that point where he's approaching that. But, ain't much the Blues can do.
Nope.
We get a text from Grant Francis fan club says he won't be that percentage of the cap in 5 years. If his decline is slow from here on out, you can stomach it. Well, that's great if you assume that the team is fine with him being $8 million on the fourth line. And that's also great if you assume that the player, Pavel Buchnevich, is fine being on a fourth line for 5 years at $8 million. And not being upset or bad attitude or frustrated, all of those things. So I just don't see that being the case. Pavel Buchnevich's play has to elevate, whether it's the offseason he changes some of the training that he does or how he gets ready for the season. But if he's not a top 6 player on your team next year, then you have to seriously consider what your options might be.
And also, we've talked multiple times about the identity of the fourth line and what they can bring to this team. Does he fit that mold for what a fourth liner should be in terms of a heavy game? I don't think so. So that's another aspect to it. Are you putting yourself in the right position to succeed with how you construct your lineup? I don't know if Buch being on the fourth line for an entire year makes that much sense.
No, I agree. All right, it's Fascinating 101 at ESPN. Is the bullpen mess Chaim Bloom's first real test as the Cardinals president? We'll get into that next on 101 ESPN. 5:04, your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. So things have been kind of smooth sailing thus far for Chaim Bloom, at least from fan and media reaction. I haven't heard a lot of gripes. Now, you're going to get, I mean, people love to complain about stuff, so it's not like he's got a perfect track record for everyone. But for the most part, we liked the draft. We understood the trades. We liked how he has started this build for the Cardinals. But this bullpen mess is really his first big test because everybody can see it. Everybody can see how bad the bullpen is. And it's a situation now where it's like, all right, here we go. Let's see how Chaim Bloom handles this. Is he going to be like Mo largely was, which is we're going to be patient, we're going to let this thing play out, we're going to trust in the guys who we selected, and then eventually, when it's probably too late, I'll make a move? Or will Bloom be more proactive and say, nope, this is not going to work, our team is playing pretty well, and I got to get guys up here that can perform? So I'm going to start making some bold moves early. What do you guys think Chaim Bloom will do with the pen?
What can he do? Like, I'm just sitting here. It's so early in the season. You don't just, it's not one guy that's the problem. You thought maybe, so you get Roycroft, you DFA'd him or you optioned him down to Memphis. But it's 3 guys, maybe 4, depending on the day of the week. Mm-hmm. It's pretty tough to revamp your entire bullpen 10 games into the season.
You did get a lot of pitching in the offseason, though.
A lot.
You did, but, I mean, okay, I guess.
Not all of it's healthy.
This is bad right now. It's bad. It's so early. Like, a lot of times the bullpen, people always say, it's the easiest thing you can revamp. You know, okay, great. I agree. But who has pieces out there right now that you want? If it's not internally.
It's got to be internally.
Exactly.
You're not making any trades for bullpen pieces right now.
I'm saying. So, but internally, do you think you have enough that's better? What if it's not better? Ultimately, at the major league level, what if it's not better?
Yeah, then you're in a hell of your own making because you're hoping that the guys that you did send down are cleaning up their act so they can come back. It's not an easy position, which is why I posed the question, what do you think he will do?
And is this a situation where Chaim Bloom has to not turn into John Mozeliak?
Mm-hmm. Because everybody's going to be watching whether or not he will.
Think that we're in win now mode. Oh, we can limp into the playoffs. Oh, if we just revamp the bullpen, if we just do that. What if the plan is, yeah, Mr. DeWitt, this is ugly, but I'm not screwing with my young guys down in the minors right now. Their development is more important right now than worrying about innings 6, 7, 8, never mind 9, because we're not even closing out games. Sorry, man. Mm-hmm. We got to hope that they get better, bottom line. And if we lose some games because of it, it's going to sting. It's going to suck. People are going to be mad. But this is the process right now.
Carey, what do you think he'll do?
I don't think he's going to sit by and just be idle and watch it take place the way that it has. Not you can't continue to, because it's really a disservice to all of the players that are working extremely hard, that are battling every single day. The starting pitchers that have to watch, the performance and the work that they did blow up when that middle relief comes in. The lineup that is doing a fantastic job of keeping you in games or bringing you back into games. I think it does a disservice for those players, and then you kind of you can lose a team and lose confidence that way because you're constantly losing and winning can, kind of create a culture. If you're a losing culture, it starts to permeate through the entire organization, through your locker room, through your clubhouse. Same thing goes for winning. So if you're finding ways to win, you just feel better. Mm-hmm. And I don't think you can allow, even though it is early, I don't think you can allow it to continue to go in this route. And I don't think he will. I think you saw very quickly how they were willing to move on from Roycroft. Like, okay, we saw this story last year. We've seen enough thus far this year. We're going to move on and go in a different direction. And I think if you continue to get performances like you've seen from Stanek, from Swanson, that they'll move on from those guys as well. Richard Fitz was one of the players that was right there probably on the cusp of making the opening day roster, and that's a player where you may look at it and say, okay, let's give him a shot, because what we have right now is not performing at the level that is going to be sustainable for success this year.
Because it's the bullpen, I think he should be proactive. This is not a situation where you got a bunch of position players that are young and you're trying to give them enough runway to prove themselves or fail. It's not even the starting rotation where you want guys to settle into a routine and then start performing. It's the pen. And the bullpen is volatile every year. It's the most volatile spot in all of in baseball. So I think he should be proactive. Now, to Jamie's point, you can't just say, 5 out, see ya, bring up 5 more. You're going to have to kind of piece this thing together one at a time.
You don't know who has options, who doesn't. Do you have to DFA guys? And then if you DFA a guy or two and you bring up from the minors and they're not good, now you've DFA'd 2 players that you might as well put them back in the bullpen.
Sure.
Like, it could end up being a disaster. If he tinkers too much,
right,
it could blow up.
There's a fine line between what you just talked about and finding the right tinkering to improve a situation that is a glaring problem right now. And to our point earlier, you got a bunch of pitching in the offseason. This is why I keep saying you can never have enough. It's not just the starters that could melt down. Your bullpen is largely without roles, except for Riley O'Brien, who's been a stud.
He's been great.
So I think you gotta tinker a little bit, knowing that you do have the depth. Now, who comes up first? I don't know, but this is why he made all those moves.
It's got to be Fitz, doesn't it?
It's got to be Fitz.
Like, I mean, again, he was the one surprised that didn't make the opening day roster. And you're looking at some of these other players. You're like, okay, well, it might be time for him to make his appearance. And again, I think if it continues to go in this direction where you're actually scoring runs in the manner in which you are, which is giving your team an opportunity to win games, you cannot continue to do that disservice for the entire club.
Agreed. Wholeheartedly. We got the Blues tonight. Blues Avalanche pregame at 6 o'clock. You can listen to that right here on 101 ESPN. Alex Ferrario will have you covered on that. Puck will drop. Chris Kerber, Joe Vitale at 7 o'clock on the Blues Radio Network. Again, you listen to it all right here on 101 ESPN. Speaking of hockey, is Brady Tkachuk's time in Ottawa coming to an end?
What?
I think it's necessary for us to put that in the atmosphere. Right?
Hearing.
We're hearing that it could be. We'll let you listen to some audio, or at least talk about what we're hearing next on 101 ESPN.
I just had a bad sleep, so I can't play today. Oh, my God. Disgusting. Can't play back-to-back.
So
Risk management.
To the point that Keith was making, he made those points. Brady and Matthew didn't. Yes, they're up there. They're sitting there having this conversation, but those words never came out of Brady and Matthew's mouth.
You didn't play that much last game either.
Never does.
Come on. I just wanted to throw that in there. Why play him a lot in a big game?
Why play him more at the Olympics in a regular season? That makes sense.
I think, too, this is driving Brady out of Ottawa. Every single time something happens, the press are all over him. The press are all over him. He's got to answer for what his dad said. Go talk to my dad if you got a problem with what he said.
All right, so you know Walt, Big Walt.
Yeah,
Keith
sure
Tkachuk,
do.
You heard the comments by Keith Tkachuk on the Wingman podcast on April 1st. Keith Tkachuk, Brady Tkachuk, Matthew Tkachuk are on that podcast. So you heard his comments. They were woven in with the other voice that you heard, which was Anson Carter for TNT, and that was a couple of days ago. That was the NHL on TNT 2 days ago. What we're hearing in the fast lane is that I shouldn't do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to. I can't. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
Insider Stalter.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. I don't have any inside
33
information.
Thoughts podcast.
Anthony Stalter on the NHL. Wouldn't it be nice, boys, if Brady Tkachuk was frustrated in Ottawa?
Yeah.
And maybe Big Walt's thoughts echoed Brady's thoughts. And Brady would become available for trade.
I would say, from my experience, right, from playing and being around, if your family is saying something, people that are close to you, generally, this is my opinion, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yep.
My opinion.
Got it.
But if your family, people that are close to you are saying certain things, it's probably something that you've said in passing or just a conversation that you've had. Yeah, I'm frustrated with this. Really? Okay, cool. And as a parent, we all have lovely children, right? We sometimes take the battles of our children for ourselves. We stand in line in the battlefield for the things that our children are either unable or unwilling to do or say. And I think that that's just good damn parenting, man. I don't have a problem with it. Now, is that what's happening? I don't know. But I think where there's smoke, there's fire. And we were talking about this in the office, Jamie. There are, I don't know how many years left on Brady Tkachuk's contract.
I think 2.
2 years left. He's 26? Yeah. He's an Olympian, gold medal winner, damn good player, fighter, tough guy overall, just a dominant force on the ice. Hell, if Ottawa don't want him, hell, you know what I mean? If Big Walt is making too much noise for you up there, fellas, I'm sorry. Hey, we'll take them off your hands. You know what I mean? We'll gladly. Hey, you don't want all that fuss and noise going on. Too loud up there in Canada, right, Jamie? It's not loud here in St. Louis. This is how we talk. Yeah. You know what I mean? This is what we do. So if that bothers you, Ottawa,
let us know.
Let us know.
Yeah.
Give us a call. Give us a call. We'll put you in touch with the right people.
So, okay. So to unpack a lot of this, you guys are having a great time with this too, by the way. I appreciate your enthusiasm. Big Walt says whatever the hell he wants, and he's earned the right. He has. He should be a Hall of Famer. He's a U.S. Hockey Hall of Famer. Was one of the best power forwards ever in the NHL. I played against him and I played with him. So from personal experience, he's hell on wheels to deal with when he played. And never bit his tongue. Whether it was good or bad or indifferent, didn't matter. You weren't getting a filtered version. So that doesn't necessarily mean that Brady was talking to Dad about a lack of ice time. It could be that Matthew and Dad were talking and said, I can't believe they only played Brady like 15 and a half minutes. I know, how dumb are they? And Brady has no idea about it. And then Walt, by the way, boys, careful what you wish for. You get your dad on the podcast.
Say some stuff.
He's great for ratings, and he's going to say whatever the hell he's thinking. But again, he's going to say whatever the hell he's thinking. So he voices his displeasure in that moment. Matthew backs him up. Brady, you can see in that clip, he's just kind of giggling. He's like, whatever, But it did get me thinking. Matthew Tkachuk, I believe it would be next year for Brady. Matthew Tkachuk and his agent made it pretty clear that they would not be re-signing in Calgary. Now, they purposely did it ahead of time so that the Calgary Flames had an entire off-season plus one more year on the deal so that they could maximize the return for Matthew Tkachuk, which they thought they did. They got a haul back in return. Unfortunately, the one player, Jonathan Huberdeau, never panned out. He had 115 points that year he was traded for Matthew Tkachuk. You're thinking, okay, we're getting a stud back here. He's never even come close to that again. Mackenzie Weegar, who is a number 1, number 2 defenseman for you in Calgary, he's been traded now to Utah because Calgary, they haven't played very well. So there's risk involved. But Ottawa could be seeking an absolute massive haul, knowing that Brady might tell them, I'm a UFA after next year. I ain't coming back. So I'm going to give you the heads up so you can maximize whatever trade you want to put together. Again, I don't know that to be true. But if you're the Blues, if you're any team in the league, quite honestly, but specifically if you're the St. Louis Blues right now, I have to sit back in the war room here. Army, Steiner, Tim Taylor, Al McInnes, probably not Keith Tkachuk because, obviously conflict of interest there, but Scott.
Put him in there.
Scott Mellenby. And you go, okay, boys, what would a trade look like for Brady? What would it look like? Because I'm about to pick up the phone and call Steve Staios in Ottawa and basically say, what do you want? Barring certain players. I wouldn't include Robert Thomas in that deal, Jimmy Snuggerud, Dylan Holloway, Philip Broberg, or Joel Hofer. Because I think that you're bringing in Brady to play with that group. Like Brady, to me, is the left winger with Robert Thomas and Jimmy Snuggerud. Now that bumps Holloway down. This is how you get depth of scoring, which you don't currently have.
Right.
So there are a few pieces that wouldn't be in play. I'd have to talk to Jordan Binnington. They're not real thrilled with Linus Ullmark up in Ottawa. It's been a bumpy ride. He's had some mental health issues, which, by all means, I wish him nothing but the best. But there was a game against Tampa, I believe it was, huge game in the standings, and he just decided he wasn't available. Which got Walt going off on another tangent about Grant Fuhrer playing 77 games in a season and not asking for time off. But my point is I think the Blues currently, right now, have probably the greatest ability to package something together for a monster like that. Think of the 3 first-round picks I have coming up in this draft. Me, with no GM experience in the National Hockey League, I'd say those 3 are in play. Those 3, and what do you want for Brady? Because you don't know what those 3 first-rounders are going to be. You don't.
Oh, if I'm the Blues, I'm giving them up in a heartbeat.
But then, and what, right? So what is your and what?
That's the
Is it
key.
Jordan Binnington? Okay, I'll have to talk to him.
Right, but if you're Ottawa, you got 3 first. You're starting over essentially, right? Now you also crossed off.
Not really, because they're so young still. They have tons of young pieces in Ottawa. For real.
All right.
And if it's not the 3 first-rounders,
but what
do you want off my roster?
What else are you off? But you just limited.
What do you want from my American League? Do you want Justin Carbonneau? Because I know that Brady Tkachuk is going to outproduce what Justin Carbonneau can do.
Okay.
And Justin Carbonneau might be a 20, 25, 30-goal scorer at one point.
When, though? Because you just said that the Senators, they're not rebuilding, right?
I agree. But then but that's their responsibility, then, Ottawa, to counter with what they want. And then, as the Blues, you have to evaluate how much of a hole that creates in your lineup, and do you have the players to fill it?
Yeah.
Maybe it's Colton Parayko. And you go, okay, now we really have to think about this. Because do we believe that Juracek can fill that spot? Can he? We don't know. That's a big ask. But Ottawa's going to do that. They're going to ask for Parayko. They're going to ask for Robert Thomas. Why? Because that's their job. Is that Jimmy Snuggerud? I know you said no, But hear me out. Mm-hmm. What about Dylan Holloway? He's a left winger. He's not going to be on your first line anymore. You got Brady there. Why don't you throw me some of that Dylan Holloway? That's what their job is to try and maximize the return for Brady Tkachuk. Mm-hmm. So now Brady Tkachuk with a full no movement clause, though, that's where the leverage, if he wants to go to St. Louis, that's where the leverage goes back to the Blues. Because then Brady and his agent can say, we're not going anywhere but St. Louis. So figure it out. Mm-hmm. So now the Blues, knowing that, would go, oh, by the way, it's only 2 first-rounders. That's how dirty it gets, though.
Yeah.
Because the players start to dictate with a no-movement clause, and he can say, fine, trade didn't work out, that's fine, I'll play out my last year. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And leave for free.
And then you can't trade me at the deadline because I have a no-movement clause.
Yeah.
So,
Where's that Rockies GM when you need him?
No kidding.
Yeah. So as much as it sounds outlandish right now as we're just kicking the can around here, like if I'm the Blues, with as many assets as they have, as far as Lindstein, Jiricek, Carbonneau, Kaskamaki, Stenberg, Dvorsky, 3 first-round picks, like all of a sudden you start looking at a whole bunch of pieces that you're like, okay, we have enough in play, minus the fact that you're maybe willing to deal like true roster players.
Mm-hmm.
If the Matthew Tkachuk situation happens again with his brother Brady and the Blues aren't able to land him, he goes somewhere else, would you consider these 2 trades and the Blues not capitalizing on that, would you consider that to be a failure?
No, because they didn't have a chance in the Matthew Tkachuk sweepstakes. They didn't. They couldn't match what Florida was willing to give. Mm-hmm. They just couldn't. And although it's turned out to where those players, well, Huberdeau in particular, has been a bit of a bust, actually has been a bust, you didn't have a 115-point player that you could dangle out there for Matthew. So I think the Matthew thing was its own entity. But I do feel right now, and this is only if Brady wants to come to St. Louis, he may not want to. He may look at that and go, he may look at that, having been a player with way less cachet around my name, went back to play in Ottawa. There was pressure there. All of my friends growing up, family, and even next door neighbors. I mean, everybody knew that I'm playing for the Ottawa Senators, and they're at the rink, and you see them all the time, and they're calling you. And like, so imagine Brady. Maybe he wants that. Maybe he would love that. Some guys love it.
Well, I think it helps that Pat Maroon came back here and won a Stanley Cup. So it is right there. Hey, a St. Louis player born here can come here and win a Stanley Cup for the city. And look what that has done for Pat Maroon. He went on to win multiple Stanley Cups. I don't know what the package looks like for Brady Tkachuk. But if Brady and his representation basically tell Ottawa, we want to be a St. Louis Blue, make it work, the Blues have enough to make that happen.
Well,
you'll hear it on 33 Thoughts with 33 Thoughts.
Stalter on the NHL. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. That's Marshy. He's got what's trending for you next.
Summer right around the corner. That means the weather heating up, and that means sports action heating up, too. We just saw the big game last night, Michigan winning that one. There's lots of stuff going on, too. You got the NBA coming up here with their play-in tournament, then the regular playoffs. Stanley Cup playoffs right around the corner. So many great events for you to get in on with Circa Sports. And whether it's your NHL or your basketball, it could be baseball right now. It could be golf. It doesn't matter. Circa Sports has got it all right there on the app, but you got to go download the app. Get to the App Store or the Google Play Store. Find the white Circa Sports logo. Click on that. That's for the state of Missouri. Sign up, and then you are ready to go. It's sports betting the way it should should be. They've got high limits, player-friendly pricing, exceptional customer service. They've got great lines on futures bets. You can put together a beautiful parlay. You've got props that are available. Anything that you're looking to do, Circus Sports can help you do that. And all you got to do is download that app. Again, you're going to have an amazing time using your Circus Sports app. For any more information regarding Circus Sports or the app, you can always visit circusports.com. That's circusports.com. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Universal Windows Direct. The Cardinals were winning last night until they weren't. 9-6. The Washington Nationals defeated the Cardinals last night. Not a great night for the Cardinals bullpen. We'll see if Matthew Liberatore can shut down the Nationals lineup tonight. 5:45, first pitch from D.C. The Blues back in action once again, taking on the Colorado Avalanche. They defeated the Avalanche on Sunday. They look for another victory, and you can listen to that game right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 6 o'clock. Puck drop is at 7. We have What's Trending coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is brought to you by Universal Windows Direct. You'll be saying, I love my windows.
What are the hot topics in the sports
sports world. What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
Here's what's trending.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN with Anthony Stalter, Jamie Rivers, and Carey Davis. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it is time for What's Trending. Gentlemen, did you see Wilson Contreras get hit in the hand last night? Brandon Woodruff of the Milwaukee Brewers.
Oh, he was pissed.
Who has plunked Wilson Contreras multiple times throughout his career. Hit him once again last night, and after the game, Wilson Contreras said, "They always say, I'm not trying to hit you. That gets old. So next time they hit me again, I'm going to take one of them out." That's a message. I love the quote from Wilson Contreras. And yesterday, if you saw, after he went to first base, there was a ground ball. He slid in very hard into second base.
He did. He's just playing baseball.
Yeah, that's hard-nosed baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I miss Wilson Contreras. I love that out of him.
Hang on, though. Let's unpack this for a second, okay? Carey, you'll understand this when I say it.
Sure, I will.
I had a lot of guys that I played with and played against that acted like they really wanted to get involved, right?
Okay.
It's like that meme or that little video you see of the yappy dog through the fence, and then they open the fence, he stops yapping. I'm not saying that that's Contreras. However, we saw him get plunked how many times in St. Louis?
A lot.
He never did anything. He never did one thing. Never even took a step towards the pitcher. He'd always walk down first base, act like he was stoic. Okay, great. Fine. Yesterday, he gets plunked again. Barely, by the way. Barely. It's not as bad as half the ones he got here.
Right.
And he starts yelling, but not making eye contact with the pitcher. Looking straight down the baseline, being angry and yelling. And then the pitcher's like, did I even hit him? Because it looked like he hit the bottom of the bat.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, Woodruff is like...
And then his hard slide would have been considered so soft.
In the 80s?
In the 80s and in the early 90s. Like when they slid, they took out your knees, you did a front flip, landed on your back, and you were like hoping that like you weren't dead. This was barely disrupted the guy's thing. I'm just saying, if you're going to talk big, you got to back it up.
So you're
or
saying...
somebody from the bench, somebody's got to do something.
You're saying he should drop a bunt down to the pitcher and then rock the pitcher on his way to first base.
Yeah.
There you go. That has happened before.
Rock the first baseman. Like something. Like he got to first base, then he got all furious with the umpire.
I thought he was, so to me it looked like he was yelling at the manager of the Brewers. He has been hit, they said, 24 times versus the Brewers, 6 times by Woodruff himself. And he did slide hard. He slid hard enough to rip the pants of the second baseman or shortstop. No, that's because his leg got out of the way, clearly. So I think...
Jamie, you've ripped your pants before.
You have.
On the road.
I did. I sure did.
I think...
That's brutal. No more squats.
Maybe he didn't attack because his brother was right there being the calming voice in his ear saying, hey, man, let's just go to first base.
My brother could not talk me down at that point.
Yeah, but if you got to run
my
through
brother
your
would probably
brother...
be like, look at you, you're taking it. Just keep walking to first. That's what I thought.
If you got to run through your brother to get to him, maybe that
has happened.
I'm sure. I understand. I have been there as well. But I do think that there is a level of frustration. And you said it wasn't a bad hit. But he's taking a beating. I mean, he's gotten hit with bats and...
You either want it or you don't, you know? Like, you either want the conflict or you don't. One of the two. You can't sit there and pretend you want it and then talk about it. You either want it or you don't.
I don't think he doesn't want it. Just my personal opinion.
I don't think he wants it. Otherwise, we'd have seen a splash of it somewhere over the last
guess what? If they hit him again, we'll see.
We'll find out. I'd plunk him right away in the first inning.
Yeah, are they playing him tonight?
Let's see what you got, bro.
Garrett Crochet goes tonight for Boston.
Man, the Red Sox
versus,
are terrible.
The Miz. Beat Jacob Mizorowski. So if he hits Contreras, it could be a hundo going at him.
If you want us to hit you, we'll really hit you.
But
honestly,
if I'm the Brewers, I'd hit him. I would. I'd be like, well, let's see what you got. And then he gets tossed from the game. He's all disrupted. Good. Goodbye. I mean, that's just me.
That's just you.
That's me.
Mizorowski probably get tossed as well.
Miz doesn't look like the type of guy that might
He's
do
lanky.
that.
Plus, he's
wiry.
fantastic.
Seems like a very likable young man.
Boston is off to a horrible start.
They're terrible.
Milwaukee off to their natural, fantastic start. The Boston Cardinals, not great.
Yeah, the Boston Cardinals.
Do you think, Marsh, that Sonny Gray and Wilson Contreras are ruining the Red Sox from the inside out? Just your thoughts.
Wow, Anthony, I don't think that. I don't think that.
Okay.
Like in science, right? You have to come up with a hypothesis and all these other different things that I forgot because it's been a long time since I've been in school. But I do remember hypothesis.
Let me rephrase.
You might be onto something.
Let me rephrase. Cardinals have a better record than the Red Sox. Was Sonny Gray and Wilson Contreras the problem?
Here?
Anthony, I think we'll run into the problem tomorrow, actually.
Oh.
The Cardinals will.
Miles McCollus?
Maybe. Man, I can't wait for the bullpen to the Cardinals
pitch a no-hitter, watch.
See, okay.
Probably will.
So, we're being snarky right now. You have to pick one or the other. Miles Michaelis throws an absolute gem, and the offense sputters against Miles McCollus. Or the Cardinals hit Miles Michaelis very well, score a bunch of runs, and the bullpen blows the game. One or the other. Which one's more likely to happen?
The bullpen.
Probably the second one that you outlined, considering that, and not that the Cardinals have the Dodgers lineup, far from it. But
the Dodgers put up 14 last night on Mama Rivers Blue Jays.
Yeah,
got you a dub. Yeah,
in the last when they faced Miles Michaelis, they put him in a headlock too.
They did.
Was it 7 runs or something like that? 8 runs?
Anthony, it was 11.
There's 11 runs. I shorted
the answer to that one. I wanted you to say it.
I wanted you to say it.
You wanted me to be the bad guy.
Yeah. All right. That's what's trending for you here in the Fast Lane on 101 at ESPN. How much stock do you put in the post-Olympic play of the Blues? Plus, we'll light the lamp before Jamie heads downtown. That's next on 101 ESPN. Jamie, do you have a couple different ways that maybe you can come up with certain down payments and things like that?
Oh, yeah, Anthony. No, I don't. Why would you even ask me?
You know what? Stewie's on the line right now. I'll ask Stewie. So, Stewie, Jamie's no help to us, as we know. But for you can come up with some ways for different down payments.
That's right. There are a lot of customers that are out there, people that want to buy homes, and they can't figure out how am I going to come up with the money to be able to put down as down payment. First of all, you have to realize that the minimum down for a conventional loan for a first-time home buyer is 3%. You don't have to put down 20%. If you're going to buy a house in some of the outlying areas, you can go USDA. It's 100% financing. There is not a lot of money that you actually have to come to the table with to make this happen for you. Now, if you don't have the funds and you're working at a good company, here's some of the ways that you can get that funds. Number one, you can borrow against a 401k. That's your retirement account. You don't want to liquidate it because that becomes a tax event, but you can borrow against it. Number two, I actually had a customer that went to a pawn shop and went and pawned their golf clubs. How about trading your Jamie Rivers hockey card? That's worth a lot of money. You can go ahead and sell
priceless,
that.
Some say.
Down payment. So that's the different ways to be able to do this. If you're not sure, give us a call. We'll give you some suggestions. Before you know it, all of a sudden you can come up with the funds. You can buy the house of your dreams. Maybe your payment is less than what your rent is, and you don't have to worry about the guy upstairs banging on the ceiling. There's all different kinds of ways of doing it. Give us a call. We'll let you know.
Yeah, give Stewie a call, and you might need a couple of Jamie Rivers cards if you're looking to buy that house of your dreams, that's for sure. But you got to call Stewie. Don't procrastinate. He's got lots of great ideas. I can tell you from personal experience, Stewie helped me a ton when I purchased my new home. So call him at 314-324-4440.
Again, 314-324-4440.
Call, text, day, night. Beautiful day out right now. Stewie's just waiting for your call. Tell him that Anthony and Jamie sent you. And if you can't remember that number,
you can always Google the Bagel Loan. Thanks, Stewie.
Have a great day, guys.
NMLS number 226715.
It's hockey. Hits are harder, and so is Mother Nature. If your vehicle's been checked into the boards by hail, ice, or an unexpected fender bender, head straight to CarStar, your auto body repair experts. Call to schedule an estimate or skate into any of their St. Louis area locations, where certified technicians will give you a fast, accurate assessment right on the lot. CarStar knows repairs can be stressful, so they'll get you fixed up and back in the game fast. CarStar. Relax. They'll take it from here. Find a location near you at carstar.com.
Fast on 101 ESPN. So how much stock do we put in the post-Olympic play of the Blues? Carey, you kind of brought this up yesterday with Robert Thomas specifically, but we could talk about the entire team when it comes to this. So last year, after the Four Nations tournament, Blues turn it on. After the Olympic break this year, Blues turn it on. Now, they're likely to fall short of the playoffs this time around as opposed to making it. But how do you look at this team and say, what is the real version? The majority of the months for the Blues over the last 2 years have not been good. They've turned it on at the right time.
Depends what month you look at.
The majority have not been good.
If it ain't
Depends
March,
how you look at it.
it ain't good.
Correct.
Is that right?
March and April.
I think this show would agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
March is the most wonderful month of the year.
It certainly is. Yeah. It's month, period. 100%.
Yeah.
So how much stock you put? I'm putting a lot of stock into what we're seeing now, but
because it's right now.
What does it matter, right? What does it matter heading into next year?
Yeah.
Once.
Can't fooled again.
But here's where
we're getting fooled again.
True. But I'll say this, and this is what makes me pause a little bit, is if this was November and they did this every November or every December, I'd be like, okay, great. You did it. Yeah, great month. Good job. But this is when every team in the league is playing their hardest for playoff positioning and an opportunity at the playoffs. And then you got this Blues team 2 years in a row that just decide, okay, we're going to enter the chat now.
Yeah.
And so where the games should be the most difficult, which they are, the Blues play their best. It makes no sense.
No, it's a real mind F.
It sure is.
So they just need a
we just need a
bigger challenge, huh?
Tell them next year in November, say, by the way, guys, happy March 1st tomorrow. Olympics
Get
for
started.
Last week.
Go ahead and play your best.
Get rolling.
You guys would be great.
You know, I do think that injuries played a factor into this. Bad luck, bad goaltending, defense. You know, I think we seriously underestimate, we've talked about it before, but I think we underestimate losing Ryan Suter and what he brought to the blue line last year. So now in your defensive zone, you're running around. You have to switch up your defensive scheme throughout the year. And then there's certain players that aren't here anymore that were in your lineup a lot. There's a reason why they're not here anymore, because they weren't good enough to play in your lineup, and other players came in and took their spot. And we're starting to see now those players gel well together, and they're playing good hockey. This wasn't the team that was playing in October, November, December. This is a different team. So this specific team gets me excited moving forward. So I do put a lot of stock into it because a lot of young players are getting an opportunity, and they're thriving right now.
Okay, but fast forward to just fast forward to September. Okay, what's that version of Marsh saying? Are you saying what you just said?
Yeah.
Or are you saying we got fooled a year ago because we bought into?
No, I'm going to buy in
post whatever break.
I'm going to buy into the team because I know at that point I'm going to be ready for hockey to begin, just like this. February, I was really excited for baseball season to begin, but eventually when the Cardinals don't make the playoffs, we hope they do, but not with this bullpen, they won't make the playoffs. So at that point, after watching an entire summer of the middle innings look absolutely dreadful, I'm going to be excited for Blues hockey again, and I'm going to feel good.
You know what, Marsh? I believe you.
Anthony,
I'm telling the truth.
Marsh, you know, like hopeless romantics. Like Marsh is a hopeless optimist. Mm-hmm. And that's perfect. Life has not gotten to him to the point where.
I mean, at all.
It has not. But I also blame you for this.
What, me?
I will blame you right now because there was an opportunity. There was an opportunity for you to give him a real life viewpoint in 2023.
Yeah.
When the Cardinals were playing the Phillies, and you, sir, you let him off the hook.
2020.
Was it 22? 2022.
You guys remember.
It's been a while, huh?
Been a while. But you let him off the hook.
What was I supposed to do?
You're supposed to tell him, Marsh, this is life. Like, this is how life goes sometimes.
Get a good look.
You made him.
Don't close your eyes or turn your head.
Like, you forced me. You didn't even go to the game with me. But you told me I better not leave the game with my son and his friend. And because this is life. You told me that. You made me and my children, my son and his friend, watch. But you let Marsh off the hook in 2022, man. You didn't tell him, Marsh, this is real life. And I get it. And it's going to sting sometimes. It's going to hurt. But you sit here and you watch this team implode like they're going to do.
Carey.
And you don't complain. You deal with it.
Sorry.
You gave him optimism. You told him it could potentially turn around.
No, I told him it would.
This is your fault.
That's a horrible advice, too.
It's your fault.
I thought they were going to get out of it.
It's your fault. This is you.
You didn't see him that day. Hold on, don't you put that finger away. You didn't see that kid. You didn't see this kid that day like I did.
This is all you.
And where were you? I was in the studio.
Big picture.
I was in the studio alone.
Did this to him.
And
Anthony jinxed him, actually.
He was devastated. He was devastated that day.
The whole city was.
He was watching as his Cardinals fell apart.
Devastated for one day or change his life forever?
Yeah, you did this, man.
You took the easy way out.
You took the easy route. You did it. This is your fault. And until you sit down with him and give him the real deal explanation of how this works,
I'm sorry.
He's going to be a hopeless optimist for the rest of his life.
I would rather be a hopeless optimist the rest of my life than be absolutely miserable going into the next season.
You want him to do what I do with the Falcons?
Because I don't. Why were you looking at Anthony there?
You know,
I'm looking past him. You know that's a rule. I'm not allowed to look at him. I'm looking at the wall.
You had his full attention, and you let him
want him to become you.
Time out. I'm patting.
Time out
I'm
from
patting
the
helmet.
game.
Time out from the game. You don't like how I talk about the Falcons in the most realistic way possible. You hate it. You think I should be more like March when it comes to the Cardinals.
You tell Lincoln the truth about the Falcons.
Lincoln
Do you
already
not?
knows the truth.
And you're going to tell
He doesn't
Killian,
like the
too.
Falcons. No, not at all. He's a
He likes
Ravens
playing
fan.
for the Falcons, flag football team, though.
Killian does, yeah. Lincoln, who knows? We'll see. I'll probably pick the Raiders for him.
If that fitting.
Kind of fits, yeah.
You tell them the truth, and you let poor Marshy, you left him hanging, man.
He's got a point.
You
know,
left
Lincoln-
him hanging.
That's real rich coming from the guy who chooses the best team in baseball.
That's because I got lessons early in life.
He doesn't want to be disappointed anymore.
We got the guy who's got 3 favorite football teams.
He got lessons in life. He understands. Sometimes crap happens.
Increase my odds. That's all.
Yeah, but when they
Marsh
win,
is speaking the truth
it
right
doesn't
now.
hit the same.
It sure does.
It actually does.
Champagne tastes the same.
No.
A win is a win, baby.
You know what? Let's just light the lamp. Tired of these guys.
You're doing great, Anthony.
You know what, Jamie? You're done. Okay. Give us your light the lamp and get out of here.
Let's go, Snuggie.
When a couple of guys can really shoot the puck.
I must confess you scored first.
Well, who was the first person?
Breakaway! Shoots! Score! We got hockey to learn.
All right, here's Jamie's pick.
Teach me how to Snuggie.
Gary.
Give me Dylan Holloway. It's just, you might as well pick the first line and a goalie. It's all that you got.
Marshy.
How about a 4th line goal
Oh, boy. He's going storyline.
from Jack Finley?
Wow. Well, give me Robert the Thomas then.
All right. I'm going to give you my bet the board before you guys sewer me.
No.
Yeah.
we wouldn't.
Give me the Oilers Mammoth over in the first period. It's minus 140.
You got about a 2 week.
Taken already.
Huh?
It's taken already.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
All right. Jamie's out of here.
Yeah, I'm tired of you.
Do we need a new Gauntlet contestant,
We
Marsh?
do, Anthony. Joey lost yesterday.
314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. So if you want to play in the Gauntlet, text in. You have an opportunity to take on Marsh, CD, or me next.
All right, if you got a vehicle out there right now and you want to accessorize it, please stop by Pure Performance. They are your one-stop shop for all aftermarket modifications. They have such an amazing selection of accessories for your vehicle. Had somebody last night tell me, oh, that's not true. They only do pickup trucks and Jeeps. Absolutely false. They have everything for any vehicle that is on the road right now, whether it's an SUV, a car, a minivan, you name it, Pure Performance can accessorize that for you. They also sell all wheels and tires for every vehicle out there on the road right now. So it doesn't have to be those oversized tires, those off-road tires. No, any tire or wheel at all, Pure Performance can take care of you. All you have to do is stop by the showroom, too. It's 25,000 square foot facility right there in St. Peters. When you walk in, please ask for Shelby. Tell her that Jamie River sent you in. She's going to make sure that you get what you need for your vehicle, and she's going to make sure she maximizes your budget for you. There really is no other choice but Pure Performance. So please get by there in person. If not, get there online. Visit pureperformance.com. That's pure P-U-R, performance.com.
categories, one challenger. Can you survive the gauntlet?
Brought to you by Blue Note Roofing. Roofing, siding, and gutters. Visit BlueNoteRoofingSTL.com for a free inspection.
404, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh, I'm Anthony Stalter. Now you know where Lincoln gets it from, huh, Carey? Marsh, who we have today in the gauntlet?
We have Doug, Anthony.
Hey, Doug.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
So far, so good. We'll see if y'all are nice to me today.
Oh, no. We're always nice.
He's a hopeless optimist, Anthony.
We're always nice. Absolutely. Doug, thank you for listening. Thank you for agreeing to jump in the gauntlet today. Would you like to take on CD, Marsh, or me?
Stalter, let's go for you, man.
All right. Well, Doug, good luck to you.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
All right, Doug. Anthony is heading to the cone of silence. You know how this goes. Tell Marshy to spin that wheel.
Marshy, spin the wheel.
Is there a particular category you're hoping for, or you want to just wait until it spins and then tell us?
We're just going to wait until it spins. I know how the wheel plays.
Okay, well, you ended up with baseball. How do you feel about that?
That probably is my worst subject.
Okay. So. Well, the wheel knows this then. All right, are you ready to go?
As I'll ever be.
All right, here we go. Can you tell us the team with the second youngest average hitter age in baseball behind Washington?
Second youngest behind Washington. Oh, it'd probably be... The A's have sold off a lot. The Marlins are young. The Cardinals are young now. Let's go and do the options, see if there's one other than those three.
All right, is it the St. Louis Cardinals, the Miami Marlins, or the Chicago White Sox?
I'm going to go ahead and let's be a homer. Let's go Cardinals.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Question number 2. Last season, just 2 NL Central players accumulated 6 WAR. That's wins above replacement. Pete Crow Armstrong was one. Name the other.
Okay. I hate doing this. We can rule out any Cardinals. We can probably rule out any Pirates. I don't know if Ellie played a full season. I'm going to get shot clock. Let's go ahead and do the options again.
Options are Jackson Churio, Ellie De La Cruz, or Nico Horner.
I'm going to say Ellie. I'm not sure he played a full season, but he's the best guy in the Central. So Ellie De La Cruz, final answer.
Question number 3. Cardinals catcher Yoel Poso originally signed with this franchise in 2013.
Oh, shoot or shoot. Let's go the A's. Final answer.
Question number 4. We haven't seen anyone reach 100 steals in a season since Vince Coleman's 109 in 1987. Ricky Henderson came close with 93 swipes in 1988 when he played for which team?
Okay. I got to say the A's. Final answer.
All right. We'll get Anthony back in here. How you feel, Doug?
Not great.
Okay, well, we'll see how Anthony's feeling. I think the cone of silence was not silent at all. It looked like a bunch of people when I walked past there.
It was, yeah.
Yes.
Ryder was in there. Jordan Deacon was in there.
Jay Dizzle, what I call
Blues.
Yeah. So you feel good?
Do I feel good?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
What do I got?
You got baseball.
Okay, I like baseball.
Marcy, tell him.
Pack a lunch, Anthony.
All right.
All right, question number 1. Can you tell us the team with the second youngest average age hitter in baseball behind Washington?
Okay, so all of the hitters in baseball, like...
Can you tell us the team with the second youngest average aged hitter in baseball behind Washington?
We're talking about one hitter? We're talking about all of the hitters.
Can you tell us the team with the second youngest average age hitter.
All right.
In baseball behind Washington.
White Sox. Final answer.
Question number 2. Last season, just 2 NL Central players accumulated 6 WAR. That's wins above replacement.
Carey.
Pete Crow Armstrong was one. Name the other.
All right, we got a 6 WAR in the National League Central. Probably like a Paul Skeens. Can you repeat the question? Make sure I didn't miss anything.
Last season, just 2 NL Central players accumulated 6 WAR. Wins above replacement. Pete Crow Armstrong was one. Name the other.
I'm going to take my shot here. Let's go with Paul Skeens. Final answer.
Question number 3. Cardinals catcher Yohei Poso originally signed with this franchise in 2013.
You know, we had a picture recently of him, I think, at Comerica, but that doesn't mean that he signed with the Tigers. Can I have the options?
The Detroit Tigers.
Son of a...
The San Diego Padres or the Texas Rangers?
Boy, San Diego sounds right, too. Oh, I'm going to be kicking myself. I'm gonna go with the San Diego Padres. Final answer.
Question number 4. We haven't seen anyone reach 100 steals in a season since Vince Coleman's 109 in 1987. Ricky Henderson came close with 93 swipes in 1988 when he played for which team?
What year?
1988.
He had to still be with the A's. Yeah, the Oakland A's. Final answer.
All right.
Had to be with the A's, right?
Let's go in reverse order, Marsh. What do you say?
Sure.
Let's start there. We haven't seen anyone reach 100 steals in a season since Vince Coleman's 109 in 1987. Ricky Henderson came closest with 93 swipes in 1988 when he played for who? Without the options, Doug said the A's. Without the options, Anthony said the A's. Correct answer is?
Mr. Stalter would have known this one. It's the New York Yankees.
The New York Yankees.
That felt like a trick question.
Let's go here. Cards catcher Yohei Poso originally signed with this franchise in 2013. Without the options, Doug said the A's. With the options, Anthony said the Padres. The correct answer is?
It is the Texas Rangers.
Oh, wow. Way off on that.
Texas Rangers. Let's go to this next question. Last season, just 2 NL Central players accumulated 6 WAR. That's wins above replacement, Anthony.
Yes, sir.
Which you know I love. Pete Crow Armstrong was one. Name the other. Anthony, without the option, said, give me that Skeens. Doug, with the options, took Ellie De La Cruz. The correct answer is?
Nico Horner.
No, that's not right.
6.1 WAR in 2025.
Score check, Marshy.
We got a defensive struggle. 0-0 the score.
That wasn't Nico Horner.
Okay.
What do you play, one game?
Take it up with the
156
writers.
It's all
Writer. Guys that wrote the test questions.
Quitter.
Final question. Can you tell us, that I had to read to Anthony 4 times, can you tell us the team with the second youngest average hitter in baseball behind Washington? Doug took the options. He took the St. Louis Cardinals. Anthony did not take the options. He took the Chicago White Sox. Your options were the St. Louis Cardinals, the Miami Marlins, and the Chicago White Sox. So if it's the White Sox, Anthony wins 1-0. If it's the Cardinals, Doug wins 1-0. If it's the Miami Marlins, We got a walk-off. Doug.
You have chosen wisely.
Cards, huh?
It was indeed the St. Louis Cardinals. Doug, you got him 1-0. It was a pitcher's duel.
Good job, Doug.
And your bullpen didn't blow
Thank you very much.
Nice work.
Good job.
Nice work. Cardinals. All right, well, you'll be back tomorrow. I got to head to the penalty box, second straight time. Nice job.
See y'all tomorrow.
All right.
Good job, Doug.
All right. There we go.
Thank you.
Well, it was a rough one for me, huh? Goose egg.
Anthony, you might be a little upset about this. Looks like Paul Skeens had a 7.7 WAR last year.
What?
Just telling you what it says. You gotta look it up. Gotta hit the goggle machine. Take a look, see.
Well, let's check that out then. That's why I asked for you to repeat it, because I didn't know if it was position players only. Let's see here. Do we have a protest situation?
Do we have a war on Skeens? I'm not good at giving a damn about war.
He did. He had a 7.7. Well, that was value pitching. So, yeah, I mean.
7.7.
7.7.
7's a number.
Wow.
Well, that one hurts.
This is just a shame.
That hurts.
Yeah, because you didn't take the options on that one, did you?
No, I did not.
Yeah.
All right.
And if it's correct, then you won 2-1.
Well, okay. Well, hang on. Let's read this. Last season, just 2 NS Central players accumulated 6 WAR, not 6 and above, right? So maybe there's only 2 players that had just 6.
Yeah.
Anthony doesn't care.
No, I mean, listen.
Clearly,
I'm taking,
Skeens had 7.
either way,
Seven's the
I'm
number.
taking the L. And Doug advances. So nice job, Doug. Congrats. We'll be back tomorrow.
618 says, "Let's go, Doug. Lick it up in the penalty box, Anthony."
Will do. All right. We didn't talk a lot about Michigan earlier. I mean, we did, and the fact that Michigan was one of the better teams, but like the overall big picture of Michigan winning.
It's great to be a Michigan Wolverine. It's great to be a Michigan Wolverine.
That's right, Carey.
Nah, I'm okay.
Are title teams no longer developed in college hoops, but assembled? We'll get into that next on 101 ESPN. It's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh, Anthony Stalter. Jamie's on his way to the Enterprise Center tonight for the Blues and Avalanche, the rematch, this time in St. Louis. So we talked earlier, Carey, about the Wolverines' 69-63 victory over UConn last night. And we talked about how UConn, in my opinion, they really did everything they could to muck up that game. Like Jamie said, to use his words, pulled Michigan into the alley. But in the end, Michigan proved that they can win in a multitude of ways. Big picture, Michigan also started 5 transfers, which is unprecedented for a champion. But recent champs have also had anywhere from 3 or 4 transfer starters that have won. My question to you guys, when you look at the way college basketball has been over the last couple of years, and given Michigan's win last night, are winning teams now assembled as opposed to developed? Is that a fair statement?
Probably. I think you saw it with Indiana when they won the national championship in football. A lot of older guys, a lot of guys that transferred in that have played a lot of football. And me being a former high school coach, one of the most frustrating things for me was getting colleges to actually look at your high school kids in the way that they did 10, 15, 20 years ago, because they don't. They are, especially the upper level schools, the Power Fives in football, the Power Fours, they're looking for kids that are already established in programs, that are talented, in an A-10 program. Hey, come play in the Big Ten now, right? They're saying, well, if you had that success there, you can come here and play and have the success here. So I do think that we're in a different time frame of sports, especially at the collegiate level, where colleges are looking for ready-made players, not guys that they actually have to develop anymore. They're looking for guys that have already had the success, have already been in a weight room program, that have been, had the 5 a.m. workouts on a collegiate level. Like they don't necessarily want to go to high school unless you're like uber talented and you're a guy that can walk in and be a day one starter. Generally speaking, they're looking for guys that have had that experience already. And you're speaking about it with Michigan, 5 transfer players, meaning they've already been established in other programs, come in here and have the success that we like you to have, and it resulted in a national championship.
Here's the good thing, though, Carey. If you're somebody that doesn't like the transfer portal, if you're somebody that doesn't like the way that NIL feels now with these players, being bought, understand this: there are programs that spend a lot more than Michigan did to assemble their starting staff. For example, I think Kentucky. I was looking at this earlier. I hope my numbers are right. Probably not. But Michigan, I believe, had a budget of like $10 million for their squad, and Kentucky had like a budget of $20 million. So, So Michigan, while they did assemble their team with transfers, it's still up to Dusty May, the head coach, to get the right players to fit into what he's doing, and that's the biggest difference, right? The transfer portal is open, it's active. It's going to continue to be that way. But do you have a head coach with a vision, a game plan, and then the ability to recruit the right players? Because any program, any school with deep pockets can throw money at transfers, but that doesn't mean that they're going to win.
Right.
It just means that they spent a lot of money to bring in their transfers.
Yeah.
So I don't want to overlook the fact that Dusty May put together the best starting 5 of transfers that fit what he wanted to do.
You still got to coach them.
You still got to coach them.
Even and I would say to some degree it might be harder to go that route, because sometimes when you are at other programs, you naturally have habits that are established at those programs. Sometimes good habits, oftentimes bad habits, and you see a talented player and you're like, okay, we need to correct this. We need this player to be able to do this thing here that he was unable to do there, or that hopefully we can get this carryover. But I do think that when you're getting 5 guys in that are coming from different programs, different philosophies, different ways of how they experience basketball, that is not an easy deal to get those guys in and be able to automatically put that team together over a summertime period and then be able to win a national championship. Like, that is some real work that is done in the offseason to prepare for a regular season and then be able to maintain it, throughout the entire season and throughout the tournament and put together a national championship run. And that's what Michigan was able to do. I don't think it's that easy, but I do think that that's the route that we're going because, again, colleges want players that are already established and have experience at the collegiate level because I think it makes that transition that much easier. It's hard to transition from a high school program to going into a college setting and automatically be ready to play day one.
Right.
But if you've been on a college campus and you know generally how things work, because everybody essentially does the same thing. Some workouts are harder, some are easier. Sometimes you got to wake up a little bit earlier, but you're already on a college campus going through those things. Your mother or father is not having to wake you up. Like, those are the things that I think college coaches are looking at and saying, yeah, give me that guy that has already done this and had this experience at this level, and I can go and find a way to try to win.
Also, when it comes to May, you're talking about getting those players that they're used to the college schedule, they're used to being a collegiate athlete. That's an advantage. One disadvantage you have, especially if you're May and you assembled 5 new starters, your chemistry isn't there.
Correct.
It's not there from day one. So you need to develop that chemistry. And I'm sure these players coming in, some might have larger egos than others. Or maybe Dusty May, this goes back to what I was saying before about finding the right players. Maybe he found the right guys that were going to be team first and play together and know their role. Either way, he assembled it, and he and those players were rewarded last night. Were you here last Wednesday when we did the Prove Me Wrong? Sometimes we get proved.
Yes.
I think you were. I think it was you and I. But sometimes we get the prove me wrong statements. We're like, oh, damn, I completely agree with that. Now I got to. That's part of the fun, right? And Marsh does a good job of finding those type of statements that we may agree with, but now we got to take the other side of it. But do you remember last week somebody posed the question of, are we starting to see, and I'm paraphrasing, but are we starting to see the bigs come back in college basketball? You have to have a big now.
Oh, I don't remember that one, but I definitely agree with it.
Maybe it's 2 weeks ago. So we had to argue against it.
Yeah.
And I think I took it on, but I agree with the texter.
Yeah.
And you saw it again last night.
Yes.
That's swinging back, Morrow's 7-3 and the way that he was able to, rotate and pick up, help his teammates out and just rotate the way that he was rotating defensively. I think college basketball is starting to dip its toes back into having a big
in the interior, especially on defense. I mean, even when in the NBA, you look at the Spurs, San Antonio, with Victor Wembanyama, who is 7'6". Like, he's a interior defender. He can play on the wing, obviously offensively, and do everything, but when they get down in that paint, it's hard as hell to shoot over him. Like, he's got a wingspan. It's like, I got to shoot this to the top of the rafters to be able to have an opportunity because he's going to go get it. And I do think that helps interior defensively. It helps with defensive rebounds, and it helps with blocking shots or at least altering shots for basketball players. That makes life hard when you got a big in there. And I did think last night that was one of the toughest tasks that UConn had. Like, Morez Johnson and Mara are large human beings with long wingspans, and they are altering or blocking shots or making life difficult for you on the interior. And defensively, Michigan did a good job of not just those two blocking shots, but pretty much everybody meeting at the basket to try to block a shot or at least put an attempt on it. It was just a good opportunity, a good outcome for the Michigan Wolverines last night. And Dusty May being able to get all of those different players to come in and be on the same page in one season is a spectacular job by him.
No doubt. That's Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh, Anthony Stalter. Carey, what is the next segment? I did not bring my rundown into
fill in the blank. So why don't you send us a fill in the blank statement to the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646, and we'll fill in the
blank. You heard the man. That's next on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cardinals look to bounce back tonight after losing 9-6 to the Washington Nationals in last night's affair. The bullpen, not a great night for the Cardinals bullpen. Matthew Liberatore looks to right the ship in D.C. First pitch is at 5:45. The Blues back in action tonight, taking on the Colorado Avalanche once again. You can listen to that game right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. Michigan took down UConn last night to win the men's national championship in college hoops. We just talked about that. If you missed that conversation or anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page and you'll find all of our shows there, and it's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. We are going to play Fill in the Blank coming up next, so get your fill in the blank statements into the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
Blank, 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 blank.
Fill in some blanks.
It's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Time to play Fill in the Blank. Text in your fill in the blank to 314-399-9646. Carey Davis, Anthony Stalter. Here's Andrew Marsh.
All right, there are so many words to describe the Cardinals bullpen, but the 618 wants to know the Cardinals bullpen is blank.
Full of baseball players trying their best.
The Cardinals bullpen is sight for sore eyes if you are an opposing team. A welcoming sign if you're the other team.
You're excited if you're the opposing team?
Yeah.
That's rough.
Pure hot garbage if you're a Cardinals fan.
I was trying to stay on the positive side. I was trying. The bullpen
A reason to stop watching.
No.
If you're the Cardinals.
There's no. If you're the Cardinals?
If you're a Cardinals fan.
Wow.
Nah. You got to tune in, man.
Anthony, if you don't watch a bullpen implode, did it actually happen?
Great point. No. Actually, yes. Yeah, because there's a record of it.
They're still watching it. Somebody's watching it.
Somebody thought that the Cardinals won that game last night by 3 runs.
Boy, were they surprised.
They thought they won 6-3.
What happened? What happened?
Color me shocked.
Yeah.
All right, from the 6-2-3, the Cardinals bullpen will have a blank ERA at the end of the season.
Where are they at now?
11.34.
I was going to say 8.
That is awful.
Well,
they can't be that bad.
No, they won't be that bad.
You don't think?
No. I won't be. I'll stop being snarky for 1 second.
Where do you want to go?
All right, I think, let's see here. By the end of the year, the Cardinals bullpen will have an ERA of, let's go with 5.34.
Where are they at right now? Is that a 6.6
something?
615?
So it'll be an improvement from here on out. But it'll still be one of the worst in baseball, if not the worst. Just based on what we've seen thus far.
How does it get better?
New players.
Okay. So the guys they currently have in those positions aren't performing nearly.
They get swapped out.
They get, okay.
Yep.
All right.
Not all of them, but some of them.
I mean,
you upgrade internally, is what I'm trying to say. Cool.
I'm all for it, brother.
Good.
From a 314, fill in the blank. The top 6 for the Blues next year are blank.
Ooh. All right, let's start with the second line because I think we know who the first line is. Dalibor Dvorsky.
Yep.
Oh, maybe I just changed it. I lied. Dylan Holloway.
Dylan Holloway. I think that's who you meant.
No, I meant Dalibor Dvorsky. The second line. I'm doing the second line.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the first line.
I said I'm going to start with the second line.
He put Dylan Holloway on the second line. I think there's a reason why.
I did.
Please.
I'm intrigued by Carbonneau. I don't know if he's a second liner that soon, but this is my lineup, so you do what you want to do with yours. Give me Justin Carbonneau on the second line. And on the first line, you got Robert Thomas. You got that Jimmy Snuggerud. And ladies and gentlemen,
Pavel Buchnevich. He's back on the first line. How do I carry? Bounce back here.
I don't like that.
I got Brady Tkachuk.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's my line, Anthony. I can do what I want.
Sure.
Now, would Justin Carbonneau be a part of a package that could land Brady Tkachuk?
It sounds to us, Carey, that you just made a massive deal without really giving up anything.
I gave up plenty.
I didn't hear Jordan Kyrie's name.
He's in on the second line.
I didn't hear his name.
I didn't hear his name.
I didn't have him on the second line. That means he's not on the third line.
Well, that is not good.
Him and Booch.
All right, so Marsh, how about you fill in the blank? Because I think Carey
You don't like mine? You don't like mine?
is huffing on hopium right now.
I learned it from him.
I know.
Hopeless optimist.
There you go.
Is the word of the day. More than likely be a star. All right, the first line. We're keeping the first line intact. Second line. Dalibor Dvorsky. Otto Stenberg. And that one guy that they end up getting. Maybe a hockey trade.
This is your second line?
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know what this is going to look like, Anthony. I really don't.
You putting him on the second line?
Who?
Who do you have? Who's your hockey trade? Who are you referring to? You got to name names, man. We're in the media.
It's going to be Holloway, Thomas, Snuggerud, Neighbors, Dvorsky, Kyrou. There you go. I'll say.
I'll
say these guys refuse to
this
say.
This is what you should have done years ago.
These two are lying to you.
What do you want me to say? Yeah, trade Jordan Kyrou. Hockey trade.
They're placating to you. They're pacifying you right now, okay? I won't do that. You may not like it, but you'll appreciate it someday when you get older.
Now you want to steal people's
You heard me.
optimism.
Holloway, Thomas, Snuggerud, Neighbors, Dvorsky, Kyrou. That's going to be your top six next year. Don't shoot the messenger.
Well, I'm disappointed in you, Anthony.
I'm sure. Hey, listen, you can be disappointed all you want.
I thought you had more
what?
More excitement in you than this.
You know what?
I thought you wanted to see this hockey trade that this young lad speaks about.
If I may, the texter asked us to fill in the blank on the Blues top six, and I believe that this texter wanted truth, realism.
You don't know that.
And honesty.
You don't know that.
Not to be lied straight to their ear hole. Okay? So I gave them that truth and honesty. You're welcome, texter. Next.
All right. Whatever, man. Let's just run it back.
Whatever, dude.
Let's just run it back, Anthony. It's not like the other three lines matter anyways. The top line is doing everything these days.
He doesn't care. Look at him. Look at his face.
They asked for the top six.
Does not care.
This guy can't wait for OTAs to start. He just can't wait.
Yeah.
He's already riding that high from the uniform reveal. This guy's already in football mode.
You like those unis, Ant?
Carey? They're the epitome of fine. They are the epitome of fine.
All right, Anthony. From the 314, next season is blank for Dennis Gates.
Do or die.
Is that where we are?
Yeah.
Nah.
Mizzou fans want him out.
Nah.
They don't want to see another first-round exit and that man hold on to his job. They just don't. So.
Come on, man.
Get to the second round or get to stepping. And I'm just speaking as a Mizzou fan.
Man, that's harsh.
That is just absolutely tired of seeing a first-round exit. Okay. All right.
Carey?
What season is it for him? I'd say season number X. He's fine. He's going to get that Crow kid,
Jason Crow Jr.
Jason Crow Jr. in there, and they are going to make it to the
NCAA
Second round?
tournament.
Sweet 16.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Carey.
That's big noise coming from me.
Yeah.
You better believe it. If I believe it, you should too.
Okay.
Somebody's got to believe around here.
Somebody has to believe in them. Mizzou fans jumping off the bandwagon already. Look at you. Shameful. You should be ashamed of yourselves, Mizzou fans. Call yourselves fans of your team. Hell no. You want to come over and join the Illini? We'll welcome you. You can come be an Illini fan. Okay. We know how to do things well.
They know how to lose later in the tournament, Anthony.
You watch
Specifically to UConn.
Anthony, you and Marsh, you got to stop. All right. Dan Hurley is going to take a job somewhere else, and we won't have to worry about that.
You're gonna be like, what's her face from? Who was it? It was like, this is so unfair. Syracuse. It's so unfair.
Yeah.
You keep making us play UConn.
Yeah.
No matter where I go, you have us facing UConn.
Yeah.
It's a personal attack.
Personal attack.
Yep.
You want to do one more?
Let's do one more.
Right,
do one more.
Manchester Milkman wants to know, Jordan Walker will hit blank home runs this season.
20.
20?
Well, yeah.
He's already
at 3 right now.
Okay, he's gonna hit 20. You don't think the guy's gonna slump at all?
You think he's going to hit more?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean,
After I got verbally assaulted,
he's been
28 to 32.
28 to 32.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm believing.
24. 24.
Okay, so only 4 more than what I said. I don't think that deserved the reaction. Yeah, 20, Dad, I know. That's why I looked at him.
20 was like, man, might as well say it's 17.
Yeah.
Okay, how many has he hit in his career? What's the career high?
Anthony, this
he
is
hit 16 in his rookie year.
He hit 16 in his rookie year.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm adding 4 more to that.
And you should.
Yeah, but did you account for the 3 that he's already hit?
Nope.
Yeah.
Anthony doesn't care.
Okay. Okay. I see where this is going. You know, I try to do things in an appropriate manner. You know, try to bring realism to the show, and you guys are just living in La La Land.
The disappointment I have,
great film, Anthony,
for you not bringing realism to this young lad 4 years ago still stands. You gave him hope. He's a hopeless, optimistic now.
Jordan Walker's going to win MVP, gentlemen.
He's a hope junkie.
He's high off opium every damn day. Look at him.
So he's scratching. Look at that hope.
He's over there bouncing around in his seat. Look at him. He's like, I got hope. Anybody else want hope?
Guys, I got that hope. Yeah. Hey, do we need a beat the streak contestant?
We already got one, Anthony. You got any more of that hope? The Cardinals 500 right now. Kidding me?
Your fault, man.
Do we need a new... Whatever, dude. Do we need a new Beat the Street contestant?
We do not. Okay. We have Tim, who will be joining us next.
All right.
And we shall play Beat the Streak and Bet the Board.
Sounds good. Next, I want to win ESPN.
Anthony, we talk about it all the time, how good of a job mentality has done for us in terms of just getting us to feel better. I just turned 45, you just turned 44, and even though you turn 45 or 44, mentally you still feel like I'm 24.
Yeah.
I'm 34. I don't feel it, but your body says, nah, not so fast. And that's where mentality comes in. You go in there once a week like you and I have, and then not only is your mind telling you you're 24, your body starts to feel like you're 24 again, and that's what mentality has done for me. I know it's done it for you as well.
Absolutely. I was down there today. Went to the location in South County. Carey, I know you often go to the Chesterfield one. Both are run by the same fantastic people, by the way. Carey's right. I mean, you jump on the Mentality program, and all they're trying to do is up your free testosterone, do it in a way where you're going to be in healthy ranges. They check you constantly. They withdraw your blood every 5 to 10 weeks to make sure nothing else is going on, everything, and you are feeling great, and you are benefiting from the program. But when it comes to how you feel, my mood has stabilized. I love the fact that when I get into the gym, my recovery times are shorter. I love the fact that I can, still put up some decent weight for my age. I do feel young. I do feel active, and a lot of that's due to the fact that I'm healthy.
Indeed, and if you're a man, if you feel like you're losing that edge, it might not just be age. It could be your low testosterone. Get in there today. Talk to them. See how they can manage it. Get you on a program that can get you going, like it has Anthony, like it has me, or visit them online at lowtusa.com. Schedule your appointment with Mentality today at lowtusa.com.
I want to hit baseballs.
All of my successes depend on me.
You're ready to hit.
The hits just keep on coming.
And his first big league hit is a bullet up the middle.
Before we get to Bet the Board, we're going to play Beat the Streak. This is where all of us choose one player in the lineup, either lineup tonight, either the Cardinals or Nationals, to get a hit. And if that player gets a hit, we build the streak, keep going. For the listener, such as Tim, who got the correct call yesterday.
No, we did not. This is a new contestant.
This is a new contestant.
Oh, Anthony, the listeners have not been doing well.
No.
Yeah, Nick picked Alec Burleson to get a base hit.
He did not.
He did not. So,
Tim, my apology. Tim is new. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Beat the Streak.
Thank you very much for having me.
No, it's our pleasure. All right,
I appreciate you guys giving me a call.
Yeah, absolutely, Tim. All right, so hang tight. Marsh, go ahead and tell us the latest streaks.
All right, Carey has a streak of 4.
Nice.
Off to a hot start for 2026. Jamie has a streak of 3. Anthony, you have a streak of 1. I'm back to 0. Or I'm staying at 0.
Who failed you?
Yvonne Herrera did yesterday.
Oh, Yvonne.
And then we welcome on Tim for the first time.
Okay, so this is how we're going to do it. CD is 1. Jamie is 2. I am 3. Tim is 4. And Marsh is 5. So, Carey, without further ado, who would you like to pick?
Yeah. I went with C.J. Abrams last night. Worked out pretty well for me. Let's go C.J. Abrams again.
All right, C.J. Abrams. Who do we want to give Jamie?
He likes Yvonne Herrera.
Herrera?
Yeah. Does he not?
I was thinking like Keibert Ruiz.
That's exactly what I was thinking of. You make the call, Carey. Ruiz or Herrera?
Let's give him Herrera.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey, give him Herrera. Okay.
I'm going to take... It's gone soft. I'm going to take Walker. Give me Jay Walker.
Jordan.
Yeah.
Nice.
Give me Jordan Walker. Tim, who would you like?
Hey, I tried Burleson last night on my own. So good thing I didn't get a hold of you guys last night because I would have lost.
No kidding.
But I'll go ahead and take Gorman.
All right, Nolan Gorman. Almost had the home run last night. All right.
You got robbed last night, so I think he can come back and at least get a hit.
I like the line of thinking. Marshy?
I'm going to go with Joey Weimer. This guy's batting .476 on the year.
I don't think he's... Oh, he is in the lineup.
Yeah.
You know what? He wasn't... I was looking for Weimer yesterday. I don't think he was in the lineup yesterday. Look at you. Okay, so Marsha said, like he noted, he's got Joey Weimer. Carey took C.J. Abrams. I selected Jordan Walker. We selected Yvonne Herrera for Jamie, and Tim is going with Nolan Gorman. Tim, good luck, man. I hope you're back tomorrow.
Thank you very much. You too.
You got it. All right, man. We'll talk to you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Boy, Tim is... I really like Tim.
Good
nice
dude.
guy.
Tim is a nice guy.
Energetic,
appreciative. He wasn't over the top when he was talking. He just he rolled with us. I hope Tim's back tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay. Marsh, fire away. All right. Cardinals bullpen has been terrible. Not as terrible as I have been in Bet the Board. I don't know the last time I won, and I'm dead serious.
Oh, my gosh. I'm looking at it right now.
I am on a streak.
March 20th.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm shocked that
Here,
you
look at
said
all the
March
reds.
20th. I thought it was March 2nd.
Yeah. So like 8 in a row? 9 in a row?
Horrible.
Anthony, you got to pick the Nationals money line tonight.
Okay. Give me the Nationals money line tonight.
What is this? What are they? Are they under the threshold?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Who is it on next? Is it you, Marsh?
I wasn't even... Technically, it's not even my pick.
No, it's Jamie's pick. Jamie's first. But we already know his pick. He gave us, what was it?
Mammoth
Edmonton.
Over 1.5. I think.
Yeah.
Did anybody check that, though?
I wasn't listening.
I'll check it. Go ahead, guys. Give your picks.
All right, Carey, I guess it's me. We both have 2. Well, no, actually, it's you, Carey. You got to 1 point before I did, so you're ahead of me.
All right, give me... Did I hit last night, right?
You did, yes.
Okay. Where I have 3 now or 2?
You have 2.
Only got 2?
Bragger.
Give me... give me Kyle Tucker. 1.5 hits, runs, RBI.
He's good, by the way.
Okay.
Oilers Mammoth over 1.5 in the first period, minus 140.
I'm going with Matthew Liberatore over 17.5 outs recorded, so I need him to go 6 innings tonight.
Okay. I don't want the Nationals. I can't give up. I can't give up this early. No.
What do you mean?
Give me the Braves minus 131 on the money line against the Angels. I got to fight back here. I can't do the thing where I'm like, I'm going to start cursing these two. No.
Well, if the Cardinals lose tonight, we know exactly who to blame.
Okay, that's fine. You can blame me.
You took the Braves?
Yeah, Braves money line minus 131.
Over who?
Angels. Ronaldo Lopez versus Kikuchi. Yeah. All right. Biggest question of the day. Centers on the Cardinals. We'll get to that next on 101 ESPN.
time for the Fast Lane's biggest question of the day. Presented by Banner Construction, the experts in James Hardy siding.
It's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN 503. Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler, with Carey Davis and Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. And Marsh, you came up with the biggest question of the day.
Yes, I saw a tweet from Jeff Jones earlier today. It was this morning and put out on X. Last night in the Cardinals clubhouse after the loss was what I call a silverware night. A loss after which the room is so quiet that you can't hear much but players chewing silently through the post-game spread, forks clanking against plates. Come inside the room with me and, post the article. And there's also another article, Josh Jacobs, MLB.com, talking about the bullpen woes. And, of course, when we talk about this rebuild, or the build as the Cardinals like to call it, we're looking more at the offensive numbers, right? At least that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the Jordan Walkers, Nolan Gormans, J.J. Weatherholt, Mason Wynn, all those guys. Not really concerned about the bullpen because that can change over time. But Josh goes in basically saying, like, the leaky nature of this bullpen, it could damage the mood of this team. And so my question is, are the pitchers, the relief pitchers, are they ruining the fun vibes of this Cardinals team? Not only for the fans, but for the players.
Okay, so I'm going to turn this over to the professional athlete in the room here in a second, because Carey would know certainly better than Marsh or I would, or anybody listening that wasn't a former athlete, of when a certain positional group fails and has been failing for 2 weeks in the case of the Cardinals, how that impacts the locker room or clubhouse. I would like to believe that everybody in that clubhouse, even though they're young, they're still big league players and they're still going to be professional. They can be frustrated internally, but you don't show up teammates and you don't have poop in your pants because one aspect, this case the bullpen, is failing you. That's fan stuff. But again, I reserve judgment here until Carey enlighten us. If the defense is terrible or the offense is terrible, is dragging you down. I'm sure it's frustrating, but how is the overall mood in the locker room in those situations?
You don't blame anyone. I mean, it never gets to the point where you're looking at the opposite side and saying you all have to play better. It's more conversation like, hey, come on, we got to go. We need you to pick it up. Everybody knows what's happening. It's not a secret,
right?
and nobody is blind to the fact of what's happening. I mean, you will in football, you could definitely get a defensive lineman very, very pissed off if you have like 3 and outs, because he got to run, and the opposing team has 2 or 3 8 to 15 play drives.
Yeah.
And you go right back out there and punt the ball after 3 plays. Yeah, good times.
Hey, guys, can you just do it again?
Hold them again. We're almost there.
We owe you guys. Just keep holding them.
Hey, guys, that was a great inning. That was a great inning of offensive baseball. Watch what we can do.
Watch this.
We want to see more of that offense. Let's see if we can come back again. We'll give you the opportunity multiple times.
Yeah, it becomes frustrating for teammates, but I think good teams don't. We all understand that it could not be your day or your night or your week or whatever the case may be.
Or your 2026.
Or hopefully not your whole season, because it's going to be a long one if that's the case. But respectfully, we're all working together, and we all understand that we all do have down moments, and we all do have moments where we're not playing or performing our best. So you try not to take it out on the guys that are struggling. You try not to. That doesn't mean that it doesn't happen, because guys do fight at times. Man, then you get over it. So it happens. You've seen coaches on the sideline fighting one another.
Yeah.
OCs, DCs. What do you think those conversations about? I love that play call you had. I want to punch you in the face.
The hell are you doing running the ball there? It is I imagine it's a slippery slope, right? Did you guys see a week ago when Matt Chapman of the Giants went to the mound? It was a mound visit. It was right after a play in which Casey Schmidt, the first baseman, had the ball go off the tip of his glove on a throw.
Yep.
And everybody got together on the mound, and the cameras caught Matt Chapman looking at Schmidt and saying, catch the fast lane ball.
Yeah. Yep.
And you could tell, like, Schmidt looked at him and goes, catch the fast lane ball.
Right.
And there's differing opinions on that, of course. Some people said, look, this is the big leagues. They're brothers. They hash it out. He's just telling you, like, flat out, like, come on, like, catch the ball. Then the other side is like, you can't show up a teammate like that. Here's where I stand on this. If you're going to do something like that, I got no problem with it. Mm-hmm. But Matt Chapman has made it was almost instant.
Yeah.
Where in the last couple of days, he had a base running blunder. He had a defensive miscue. Like, hey, buddy, don't open Pandora's box if you're not willing to look in the mirror and make sure that your blank doesn't stink either. You know what I mean?
I don't have a problem.
I don't either,
I think people that get sensitive about that probably haven't been in those environments. Like, it's not a true work environment, and I put that in air quotes. It's not where, people talk to one another. You're not sitting in your cubicle and somebody saying, get it effing together. That doesn't happen in those environments. But in a huddle, let me tell you something, Anthony. Some of the things you've heard and some of the things I've heard, some of the things I've said, and some of the things that have been said to me. Mm-hmm. Hey, man.
Can't be repeated.
You going to block today? I'm going to try. You plan on doing it?
I'm struggling.
You going to catch the ball? You going to throw me the damn ball? Like, I've had those. It's a real response, a real reaction. And it generally only happens when you and that player or that group of players are so close that I can have that moment where I hold you accountable for what you're not doing, because I have higher expectations of you. I expect you to catch the ball every single time. Catch the damn ball, man.
Yeah.
And only, in my opinion, really good teams and good teammates do that. Now, if you see it happening and it could be dysfunctional, and notice that right away as well. But normally when you're having a good conversation and you're good teammates and you trust one another, if I lay into you, it's not the end of the world. I go back to, I think it was a national championship game, Nakobe Dean, and I forget which Georgia Bulldog teammate it was, but he went the wrong way. It was the linebacker. It wasn't Quay Walker. I forget who it was. But he lit into him.
Yeah.
You went the wrong way. You almost blew this coverage, and we almost had a catastrophic mistake. And then on the next play, the very next play, said teammate makes a huge play, gets a sack, and the first person there to congratulate him and pat him on the butt and pat him on the top of the head is Nakobe Dean.
Yeah. Channing Tyndall.
There you go. He was a linebacker.
He was a linebacker, and then he got a sack on the next play.
Got the sack the very next play. So. Yep. But that doesn't happen. I can't rip you if I don't praise you in the same way.
Sure.
Give you the same amount of love as I would if I'm getting into you for making a mistake.
It's leadership.
Yeah.
Yep, it is. And he did. He let him hear it. And to Tyndall's credit, he knew
he messed up.
He messed up. He kind of put, he kind of like, all right, he tapped his chest. That's on me. I got you. And then he stepped up the next play.
Yep.
So.
Now, this will be hard to believe given the circumstances over the last few days, but there will be games when the Cardinals bullpen steps up and wins them a game. We saw it in the series against the Mets, where the offense, they left so many runners on base, and the bullpen stepped up in high leverage situations outside of Chris Roycroft in that moment.
Sure.
But in extra innings, when the Mets were about to take the lead, the bullpen stepped up, produced zeros on the scoreboard, and they gave enough time to the Cardinals offense to find a game-winning hit, Mason Wynn, the blue pit. Right. So the offense didn't really have it that day. The bullpen stepped up, and the Cardinals won that game. That will happen throughout the year.
Yeah.
We just want the team to have a clean game, Anthony.
Amen. Maybe we'll start tonight.
Maybe.
5:45 first pitch in Washington, Cardinals and Nationals. Get those sports six-pack questions rolling in. Next two segments are sports six-pack. 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. Again, send in those sports six-pack questions next on 101 ESPN.
question.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
Refreshed by Urban Chestnut. Urban Chestnut Swickle Light Premium Light Beer. Live your lifestyle, St. Louis.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane. I'm Carey Davis with Andrew Marsh. Jamie Rivers is off to do that hockey as the Blues take on the Avalanche tonight. Our good guy, Anthony Stalter, is off to do that baseball with the young lads tonight. And we are off to do the Sports Six-Pack. Marshy, go.
Question number 1.
All right, from the 636, has betting on sports and social media changed how fans view their teams?
Ooh, I don't know if it's changed. I think some of it has changed. I think it has changed a lot for the athletes. They even have commercials now. I don't know if you saw this during the NCAA tournament where they're kind of highlighting some of the things that go along with sports betting and how it impacts those players.
Yep.
Trying to avoid those conversations. I think it does negatively impact how athletes are looked at or how they look at it. I think it's weird if you are a professional, if you are a person that bets on sports and you run into your favorite player and you get pissed off because he didn't hit your parlay the night before, if you inbox somebody because you missed out on your parlay and you're upset. I think that's the part of sports where things have changed for fans because everyone and everything is so accessible now in comparison to 15, 20 years ago. You didn't have this ability to reach out to your favorite player and have a potential conversation with them. So I think that has changed in a worse way for fans and how they view their favorite team or their favorite sport.
I think that social media has, I don't know, I feel like everybody's angry these days. Everybody's angry. Everybody has something to say online. And I think that has turned people just off for maybe a team. They're not willing to give enough grace for their favorite team. And I also think, with TikTok and how we consume media, very quick. Everything's quick. We need stuff now. People are becoming impatient. So when you see somebody like, we'll use Jordan Walker, for instance, when he is not reaching his ceiling right away, we're like, get rid of him.
Yeah.
We don't want him. And I listen, with certain players, even Jordan Walker last year, like I started to get ticked off when it wasn't coming together. So, I'm not absolving myself from that. But that is something that I've noticed where people are less patient. And I don't think it's not everything to do with sports. It's just life in general.
Yeah, I think we compare people to other players or players to other players.
Yeah.
Or this player is this height, this weight, this size. He plays this position. He should be this. I think we do that in all sports. It happens. It happened to me. It happened to everyone. When they see a specific body type or they see a specific thing, they automatically expect player X to perform like player Y. And that's not always the case. Sometimes it takes a little bit of maturation. It takes a little bit more experience. Sometimes it takes failing to actually learn how to figure it out and succeed. And each player is different. And so I think that's comparison is the thief of joy, man. If you compare people or compare yourself to other things, you're going to be null. You're going to be voided of the joy that you have in your life. So, I think you should allow things to happen as they happen organically. Like Marshy mentioned, the organic tank, which is
that's looking rough. If you're a fan of the organic tank for the Blues, you're probably
get over it.
Yeah, you might need to get over it. I think our worst nightmare scenario for the Blues is starting to take form, and that would be you play well enough down the stretch to play yourself out of a top pick, but not good enough
to get into the
playoffs. It's going to be tough for the Blues to get in, especially with the Kings and Predators going to a shootout last night. Both teams ended up picking up a point, so that is not good.
Yeah, great.
Question number 2.
All right, from the 314, does a player need to be good to be a leader at the professional level? Not lever.
When you say good, what do you? I think it's hard for players to follow a player that is not having success. I think it helps tremendously when the voice in the room that people want to listen to is the player that is actually making plays. Because it can get to the point where, like, dude, you don't even play, or you're not even good enough to have. And it's not right, but I think your most vocal leaders oftentimes should be your best players. It's not always the case. Sometimes it's, the third or fourth best player on the team. But if your best player is also your most vocal and the player that people listen to and follow, you can have a lot of success. But I don't think you can be – I don't think, and I haven't, seen it where you can be a guy that might be off of the roster in a couple of weeks if you're in football, or off of the roster at the end of the year where you're the leader of that team. Because it just doesn't generally happen that way. It's usually a player that is playing significant minutes or having significant time on the field, on the ice, on the court, that is also the vocal leader that people follow behind and they want to listen to in terms of how they win games.
Yeah, I would have to assume that there's a hierarchy within the locker room, and just because you are one of those players on the bottom of the totem pole in terms of your importance to the team, I don't think that doesn't mean you're not a good leader in whatever aspect of life that you're in. But I'm sure it's a situation where you have to read the room. You're like, I probably shouldn't say anything just because I really have no pull here in this locker room.
And we get a text from the 314 mentioning Udonis Haslem, who was a longtime Miami Heat player who didn't play much but was on that roster for that veteran leadership. Now, if that's the case, he was a guy that actually played a lot earlier in his career. But
you have a resume.
You've done it. You've been a champion on that level, and people are going to listen to you, even if you're not currently playing significant minutes. But if you're a younger player, not established, and you have leadership aspirations, you better be good in your field and get guys to follow behind you and listen to you.
Question number 3.
From In DeBoer We Trust, which current St. Louis athlete or athletes will define this era of the city's sports? So do we want to take it by this decade? Would you consider this decade to be the era?
I'm assuming that they mean current St. Louis athletes that are currently on St. Louis rosters, like right now, this year.
Yeah.
Like if there's a player currently on these rosters that are potentially going to define how that specific team is looked at. Who would you say? I mean, I think we hope for the Cardinals that it would be a player like Jordan Walker, because you think that his ceiling is tremendous. You think that he has a high ceiling, and so far this season, he's been showing that capability. All of the things that have been written and said about him, people are eating their words for now. Now, will it continue? Who knows? Hopefully it does. But if not, well, I don't know. For the hockey, for the Blues, who would that player be?
So I think Jordan Walker's a great answer. I'm looking at this from a player that's on the team now that was on the team, even a few years ago. So we're spreading it out throughout this decade, and they'll more than likely be on the team in the upcoming years. Jordan Walker's great because his success will define the Cardinals in the 2020s.
Right.
Whether or not he's good, whether or not he's bad. It just goes to show where this team currently is. So I think that's a great answer. And I would say for the Blues, it's probably Robert Thomas for the same conversation. He is the leader of that team currently, and where the team has been in the past few seasons hasn't been great outside of last year and the run that they had to the playoffs, and he was a huge part of that.
Right.
So I think he defines the Blues. When he is playing at his best, this team wins. And they play a pretty fun brand of hockey, but that's it, right? When he is not playing well or not playing at all due to injury, the team is not good.
Yeah, I think it is Robert Thomas as well. And I think, like you hit the nail on the head, when he's performing at his fullest, highest capabilities, you don't know what this team can be. But if he's not, then you kind of have an answer to who they are and what they are. And I think it's kind of a gift and a curse. It's unfair to put all of that on one player, but when heavy is the head that wears the crown, that's kind of where he is. He's the one that is the catalyst for this team to have success. And when he's struggling, they're struggling. So I agree with you. Robert Thomas will probably be that answer for me as well. That's Andrew Marsh. I'm Carey Davis. Coming up next, we have part 2 of the Sports Six Pack when we return on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Universal Windows Direct. The Cardinals back in action tonight. Once again, taking on the Washington Nationals. First pitch from D.C. in less than 15 minutes. Matthew Liberatore on the mound for the Cardinals. They look to bounce back after a 9-6 loss to the Nationals last night. The Blues take on the Colorado Avalanche again tonight at the Enterprise Center. You can listen to that game right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. Coming up next, we have part 2 of our Sports Six-Pack, so get your questions in to the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. We'll answer your questions next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is brought to you by Universal Windows Direct. You'll be saying, I love my windows.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
Refreshed by Urban Chestnut. Urban Chestnut Swickle Light Premium Light Beer. Live your lifestyle, St. Louis.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane with Andrew Marsh. I'm Carey Davis. It's time for part 2 of the Sports Six-Pack. Marshy, question number 4, please.
Question number 4.
From the 314, what is your favorite tradition within your family? Mine is having Sunday night dinners with my family every Sunday.
Man, that's a good question. I don't know, many traditions. I mean, obviously Christmas Eve. Well, I guess Christmas Eve, I've always, when I was a kid, my mother used to let me open up one gift on Christmas Eve. So I do that with my children. They get to open up one gift before they go to bed, and that's kind of one of the traditions that we have. My fiance, they do a lot of stuff with her family. Like, they are like really family oriented, which I think is so cool. They always have family over. It could be the middle of the week. Like, they might have people over it might be 15, 20 people just.
Oh, wow, that's a lot of people.
Yeah, like just hanging
on
out.
On a Wednesday?
Just randomly, yeah. Playing cards, having a good time. So I actually enjoy doing that with her and her family. I think that's pretty dope that they do that. I don't have anything specifically other than Christmas Eve where, that's kind of our thing, but that's it. What about you?
I don't know if we do anything specific, but my mom does make the peanut butter cake that I've talked about for birthdays.
You didn't bring any in for us.
I didn't.
Marshy?
I know.
Damn it, man. It's one time a year that your mother makes this peanut butter cake. Peanut butter cake. And you didn't bring us a slice. You ate the whole damn thing for yourself. Did you at least give Rachel a piece?
Yes.
Okay. At least she got a piece. All right.
Yeah.
Your comrades here didn't get a slice, but it's okay.
It was tough because we were on remote for those 2 days, so I wasn't gonna bring cake. To. I guess I could have.
I guess it's extremely hard to wrap a piece of cake up.
Yeah, I guess I could have done that. That's on me. Maybe next year.
I won't. Marshy, we won't hold our breath. I know you want your peanut butter cake all to yourself. It's okay, man. I'm not mad at you.
So good.
You've only been telling us about it for 3 years now, and I haven't had.
It's kind of like a myth at this point.
Yeah, it might not even be true.
Well, no, it's true. It's very good. Maybe I'll have her make it just for the fun of it.
Maybe.
And bring it in.
That would be nice. And your mother is a sweet woman. She came in here one day. You were out. I don't know if you forgot something, but she came by and we talked to her. So, yeah, if you want to make us a peanut butter cake,
So there's 2 forms that we could go about this with. We can either
fill
have...
out a form?
No.
Oh, okay.
So we can do the cake or we can have cupcakes. She's done that before, too.
Which one are you? Do you prefer?
I really don't have a preference, just because it tastes the same.
Okay,
so it is a little easier to bring in the cupcakes for that portion size.
Yeah,
if you just want a little cupcake,
a little taste.
Maybe we could do that.
Yeah,
I can't make it though. I don't even have the recipe.
Yeah, I know. You told us.
It's a secret.
It's a secret.
Yeah,
family secret that only your mother knows.
So maybe when I'm older, I'll end up getting the
there you go
the family recipe because my grandmother used to make it, and then my mom has it now, and now she makes it. So maybe I will eventually have the recipe.
There you go.
But who knows? Who knows when? Maybe she'll just keep it forever. I'll never know. So.
Question number 5.
All right, from the 636, what are your favorite sports to watch besides the ones you played? So for Marsh, anything besides hockey, and for Carey, anything besides football?
Basketball for me. I am a basketball junkie. I thought, for a long time, I was going to the NBA, man, and then, 5'10" hit, and I've just been there forever. So, didn't happen. But I've always enjoyed basketball. It is my favorite sport. I just think it's a really good sport. It brings out a lot of athleticism, a lot of, just the things that you can do and how they attack defenses, I think is really cool. And when you get guys that play defense really well, that's fun to watch as well. So just the competition level and the athleticism, for me, basketball is my favorite sport.
For me, it's football. I never played football. I played baseball and hockey growing up, but, I got really into football when the Rams were here. Middle school, started doing fantasy football, so that's sort of my way of playing. I feel like I'm a professional fantasy football player, along with, I'm sure, a lot of people listening right now. But football is the sport for me. I wanted to play football, but with hockey, it runs at the same time. So it's sort of tough to do that. But definitely love football. And in another lifetime, I was a third stringer. Maybe.
Question number 6.
All right, the Waterboy wants to know, I feel like last night's NCAA championship pregame was pretty long. I think we can all agree that the Super Bowl pregame is way too long. How long should a pregame show be before a big game? What are you, the sports dudes, looking for in a good pregame show? I don't know about you, Carey, but I love a good pregame. I love a long pregame.
You mentioned it last night in our text thread. Why is this game happening at 7:50?
That's what I don't like.
Yeah, it was a late start. I don't know why that game was so late. I'm not really into I'm not as bothered by like pregame or even the in-game analysis. Like I know people, I can't listen to such and such call games. I gotta turn it on mute. I don't really look at it in that way. I just watch the game, and if there is something that is said and I'm like, well, that's not what happened. But then I also remember, like, it's so different from the angle you have as a viewer versus the angle that the announcer has. So while you're getting 14 replays, like I think last night there was a questionable call where Dan Hurley thought that the Michigan player elbowed one of his players. And so the announcers are saying, well, they're looking at the wrong review, the wrong replay to start that off, and then when they finally did the wrong remotion, and then when they finally got to the right one, they were like, oh no, that's not what it was. But I saw it right away. I think most people saw it right away, and they knew that was the wrong thing. But I think as an announcer calling a game, which you do, sometimes your vantage point is much different than obviously if somebody's watching it on TV or if somebody's watching it live, they see something different than what you see at times.
Now, when you do the Illini games, you have a screen. Even though you do radio, you have a screen, and you like. How much different is it to describe that without video?
So for me, it actually, I don't know. It makes it better in a way because you have to be more descriptive when you're on radio. Like you have to actually tell what you're seeing or what's going on so that the listener can see it in their mind or understand it without having to have a whole bunch of philosophical or technical words that they may not understand. So it is the screen does help. Sometimes the replay is so long and so delayed, though. By the time I actually see what happens, we're 2 or 3 plays past that. So it does help in some regards, but most times it doesn't. So I try to be as descriptive as possible when I'm calling those games because obviously people aren't watching, they're listening, and they want to know what's going on.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the 7:50 start. Like the game didn't end till 10:20, 10:15.
That's good, man.
And that's 11 o'clock Eastern time too.
I enjoyed it. I didn't, like I said, it worked out well because I was able to watch the Cardinals game.
Yeah, no, it did. It did. Like we went straight from the Cardinals blowing that game right into tip-off.
Come on, man.
You know, the 2 TVs going, and then you switch them over.
Yeah.
So it worked out great, but when these games are so long and
Takes a while.
Whatnot, the last minute of the game I think took 15 minutes.
Yeah, you get, especially in basketball, you get a lot of timeouts. I did think that game towards the end of it, I'm like, man, how many media breaks do we need, brother?
Right.
That part, and I think that ruins the flow of the game for the players, for more so than it does for me as a person watching it. Like, the players actually get out of rhythm when you have that many stoppages. So I thought that part was kind of boring, but other than that, I thought it was a good game.
I saw a post last night on X. It was a picture of, and I think we've talked about this, how big the stadium is. They're playing in a football stadium. Yep. And so there's people like up in the, nosebleeds. You can barely see the court. Yeah. But it was a picture of this guy, or like the vantage point of whoever was sitting there, just at the very top of the stadium. And the caption said, "Come on, ref. Call it both ways."
Because you can tell from all the way up there, for sure. That's Andrew Marsh. I'm Carey Davis. Coming up next, we have our 3 stars and what we learned today when we return on the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. missed anything from today's show, you can always download the podcast, available at 101ESPN.com or via the Dobbs Tire and Auto Center 101 ESPN mobile app. Podcasts are brought to you by Schaefer Door Company. Time to find out what we learned today. Marshy, what did you learn today?
I learned something very disturbing.
What's that?
Jamie Rivers once ate a horse.
That is awful. Well, to be fair, he ate one piece of what he thought was a steak.
Yeah.
And then ended up finding out that it was indeed not. It was a horse. It wasn't steak. It wasn't beef. It wasn't.
What do you think that tastes like?
I don't want to know. I don't really want to know. I don't know. But I also don't want to know.
Well, clearly people eat it. Maybe not here in the States, but
some places
overseas. They probably look at some of the things that we eat and they're like, "Oh my gosh, why do they eat that?"
Yeah, I
like most fast food joints.
Yeah, they probably look at that like, "You eat that?
You guys are real healthy."
That's gross. Ugh. You know what I learned today? Anthony is solely responsible for Marshy's endless hopium that he carries with him every single day. He's if you're looking for someone, I don't know if we should blame him. Maybe we should thank him that Marshy is the one individual on this show who will never give up hope, man. That is I'm very proud of you, man. Well, very proud.
I think there's an asterisk for this whole thing.
Do tell.
The hope, it's like a battery, right? It's like your phone.
Okay.
You go throughout the day. Your phone loses its battery.
Yeah.
Much like in a season where my hopium will start to lose its battery.
Then you plug in the off season and you're
plug it in the off season and we're charged back up.
Yeah, you recharge.
And then as the season goes along, it starts to go down. Starts to go down a little bit. Now, when the teams are, and they will, play better. Maybe that charge, you got a little bit. Your battery's a little bit better, right?
Marsha, I got news for you. Much like life and phones, the older that phone gets, the quicker that damn battery goes down.
Yeah. Well, you know what, Carey? I got a new phone pretty recently. Didn't even need a new phone, but I ended up getting one. Got a new phone, just so I didn't have to worry about that.
Just letting you know, man. As you get older, you got to swap that phone out, but we can't swap ourselves out. So your hopium kind of dissipates a little bit quicker as you get older, like that phone battery as the phone gets older.
Well, funny you bring that up because not this phone, not my last phone. The last phone I needed to get because the phone before that it just stopped working.
It just stopped charging.
The speakers stopped working. I couldn't hear anything. So if you tried to call me, I couldn't talk to you. And it just happened like that. It just stopped. So literally that day I go, I'm like I don't know how people did stuff without a phone or Wi-Fi back in the day, or soap.
You know what we did?
I don't know how they went about their lives.
You just talk to people when you got home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They leave messages on a machine called an answering machine.
I'm talking before that, Carey.
Oh, well, I don't know about before that. I wasn't alive. Hell, who the hell knows?
They didn't have AC.
They sent messages via pigeons.
How would those pigeons know where to go? You ever think about that?
I have no clue. I don't know, man. Yeah, people smarter than us know. Marsha, give me those 3 stars. What you got?
Maybe the pigeons aren't real.
No.
That's a whole separate conversation.
That sounds like a conspiracy.
It's time for the Fast Lane's 3 stars of the day, presented by Circus Sports. No bet fees ever with the world's largest sports book, now at your fingertips in Illinois and Missouri.
All right, our 3rd star of the day goes out to a new word that was presented to us today. Not a word from the lips of Bradford Bruns, but one Jamie Rivers, and that word is remotion.
Remotion. You got motion, you get in remotion.
Yes, not promotion or demotion.
Or emotion.
Just remotion.
Yeah.
Our 2nd star of the day goes out to the 33 Thoughts podcast with Anthony Stalter, talking all things NHL hockey.
You get your NHL insider info via the 33 Third and podcast.
Yeah. And, of course, our 1st star of the day goes out to the hopeless optimist.
Hopeless optimist, Andrew Marsh, man. It never stops. He will always...
There's got to be other people out there as well that consider themselves to be a hopeless optimist.
Start a group.
Maybe.
You know? see how long this optimism lasts.
We know one person on our text line that's not a hopeless optimist.
He's trying. He's working hard at it. He's having a good time and going to have a good time tonight as the Blues take on the Avalanche. Pre-game starts here at 6 p.m. Puck drops at 7 p.m. See if those St. Louis Blues can get another win versus the Avs like they did the other night. Be pretty interesting. And, Marshy, I don't know about you, but I do believe that if they win, Marsh might, that optimism might pay off because they are inching closer. Now, I don't know if they actually got it in them to because I think it's out of their hands.
Yeah.
But if they win again tonight,
I mean, don't get me riled up.
Don't offer you up a good time.
I'll tell you what, right now, Carey, the Blues can win 5-0 tonight, and if those Cardinals decide to away the game again, I don't care what the Blues do tonight. I'm going to be ticked off.
I don't agree with that.
They matter more right now than the Cardinals do.
I don't agree with that. I think you will be extremely excited if the Cardinals away another game and the Blues win 5-0 versus the Colorado Avalanche.
Yeah, it'll be it'll be a hot and cold day tomorrow.
Well, it's St. Louis, man. What else do you expect? Hell,
that is true. Today, it looks pretty nice out.
It's 40
today.
degrees
Is it
this
supposed
morning.
To be like 70 tomorrow?
I don't know, man. I got a sweatshirt on tomorrow. Might have shorts on tomorrow. Who knows? Who really knows, Marshy?
Let me take a quick gander real quick. 58 is the high today on my app. 74 tomorrow.
Yeah, well, it was 40 degrees when I walked out the house this morning, and let me tell you, it was cold.
Yeah,
too dang on cold for an April day. So hopefully the Blues can heat it up tonight, and the Cardinals can heat it up tonight. We will be back tomorrow. Jamie will be here again. For Jamie Rivers, Andrew Marsh, Anthony Stalter, I am Carey Davis. We will see you tomorrow. Peace.